Yeah, I must be psychotic. First thing in the morning doing this. Well, it's not first thing in the morning. It is in the morning. But we're here. 9 hours ago. Well, a little less than 9 hours ago. But we're going to take a poll and see what people want to do. While it's searching, let's go back. Oh, yeah, let's do this. Options. Control reticle. Where's the reticle? Limit frame per. Yeah, this. This buffering is on. Triple buffering is off. VSync on.
Traveling to Volskaya Industries.
Defend, I know.
Prepare to attack.
I'm sorry, what happened here?
Select your hero.
Man, my man's got the gold border with 3 stars. Look at him. Rocking it.
Everything can be hacked.
Options.
And everyone.
Though it's circle. I want it to be a crosshairs. Advanced thickness. Let's bring it down a little bit.
30 seconds.
В гостях хорошо, а дома лучше.
There we go. Opacity and ally capacity. Color. Maybe red. There we go.
Hello.
There we go. Now we're gonna be good. Yeah,
I need this
right.
later.
5, 4, 3.
2, 1, run.
Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
¿Qué onda? Been here all along.
Oh no! Well, see, we got rid of that. Nice, guys. Nice.
Reboot and try again.
It's all about me opening up that space. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. I'm not really sure how these guys are playing it.
Be right back.
Wait, did we all die?
Personne n'échappe à mon regard. See you later.
Yeah, we missed. I wanted to get the restart anyways. There we go. That was actually pretty good that they got 3 like that. That's good. 3 ticks.
Ahorita regreso.
Alright, what we got? We're at 42%. We need to be a little bit better. Right now we're kind of... It was the first game, so... What? Man, this game sometimes, I was literally behind that. Ah, I can do it. Get him. Get him. Nice. Oh, wow. Nice. 2, he died. They got that. Oh, wow. Their tracer got art. Okay.
I might need this later.
Moira is here.
What do you think right here?
¿Qué tal? Beacon in place. He vuelto. Do something! Gotcha. Mucho mejor. Hey there.
I am on fire.
Yeah, you are, Zarya. Nicely done.
A captured. Commence attack on
EMP
objective.
charged.
You want to go behind? Let's get back here.
Securing the objective. Apagando las luces.
No, no, get him. They got no defense. Nice shot, though. I have to see the shot.
Apagando las luces.
That's pretty good, actually.
We didn't see that coming.
Definitely a smart account. Definitely a smart account.
Be right back.
That's a bad spot. That's not a good spot.
Translocating.
Ooh, we got some shots on him, though. Alright, so I got to attack either the Tracer or the, What's that about? Oh, I could take that. Oh, you want to watch? Okay.
We all make mistakes.
To have some salt there. No, now we know.
Well, I don't know why you leave it out.
Always leave yourself a back. He vuelto.
Engaging the enemy.
Been here all along.
Team up for special attack.
No. Wait, how did they find my... Oh, because the Tracer found it. Man, I can't get a hack off this one. First game of the day, too, really.
Ya
Really
estoy
rough.
lista para ese trago.
on the objective.
May, good call.
Beacon in place. ¿Qué tal? Let's get started.
No, who took me out? Really? She's just shooting right down. Okay, I gotta go back there and kill her. I think our Zarya probably should go as a,
It's all up from here.
one of these guys should go as like Winston and dive that freaking Smurf account.
Hey there.
Really, that person's definitely a Smurf. Oh no, yeah, the other guy got me. Liz, oh wait, we're almost there.
Here. My ultimate is almost ready.
I can go with Junkrat at best.
Gotcha.
Get into position.
How is this person just sitting back there killing me? Like, really?
Fire at will.
Did you get it? I have to go there and kill the widow. That's basically what I need to do. That's the call of the morning, to go kill the widow.
The point is mine, and you can't have it.
Ahorita regreso. I'm out of here.
Wait, they didn't tell me you had it on me. Oh my god, I didn't even hear it. This thing sometimes. The game didn't tell me that she freaking did her ult. This is not good.
Coming at you. Push forward.
game. Alright, one more. We need to make a decision as to what we really want to play. Because this... No, this is not the game to play today all day.
Welcome to Paris.
Escargots.
Prepare to attack.
Oh,
Select
take mine.
your hero.
Fine, I guess I go Farah. How long do you play? Let's see, do we have any info? No, really. Not really. Let's see here, all modes. 168 hours. Yeah, you play Sombra. How many hours do I have on her? Oh, 157. Oh,
I will
not that much.
protect the innocent.
Not that much less.
We all have our jobs.
Can you break this? No, you can't.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Wait, we're attacking again? This is weird. I'm in a whole new territory here. Wait, who's healing? Moira.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Really? Who got me? Yo, she got me with her orb. Ah, and I got him with the thingy thing. Oh, good. We have. Oh, it's almost like a. No, it's not a bunker. Oh.
Tango down.
There's like 3 right there. Just take them out. You're backed into a corner.
I'm securing the objective.
There's no way they'd take that
Hey,
or live.
My team.
It was way too tight in that corner for them. For 3 of them. Yeah, way too tough.
Objective A captured. Commence attack on objective B.
Helden sterben nicht.
In range of the objective. Form up on that.
Really? Aww. He shot me. He shot me. He hurt me. Get him. 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 Oh wow, he's getting
I will
pocketed
not
big
fail
time.
again.
Well, I'm sure we're gonna fail a lot actually. It's usually part of the morning. Wow, we were not even awake. Our reaction times are very slow this morning. What the hell, man? Where's my heals, Moira? Not even
I
a
will not fail
heal.
again.
Alright, we're doing this. Moira is, well actually, well I can actually combo with them with that. We just have to get in spot.
charged.
Yeah, I see that.
My ultimate is almost ready.
EMP activated.
Let them up.
May not protect my area. Current detected.
Charging.
Justice reigns from above. Clearing the area.
There's one back there in the cliff. Oh, wow. That was a really big spread. That's pretty huge, actually. Oh, so close to actually capping it.
Raptora systems
So
online.
close. Nope. Not happening. Maybe we should probably swap off this character. Kill him. He's definitely exposed. Yeah, that's pretty stupid on his part. He's just feeding at that point. That's cool though, we'll take it.
Back online.
We'll take it. I think we're gonna get it in this push. Feels right.
Use caution.
Let them up.
Ah! From Hammond.
My team needs me. Translocating.
Reinhardt at your service.
Really? That touched me?
You have my thanks. Get back. Clearing the area.
Where? See, I know he's gonna try to flank. See, I knew it.
Enemy turret down. System repaired. That's how it's done. Justice reigns from above.
No! Get him! Oh no! Wasn't ready in time? Oh no! I thought she was gonna. Wait, I guess she was a little bit behind me on mine.
Raptora systems online.
So close. Well, I guess if she popped it earlier, if I just waited another second, that probably was probably a better play to wait.
Come out and face.
My ultimate ability is charged.
Beacon.
Enemy turret ahead.
Where's his turret?
Enemy turret no more.
Join
My ultimate is almost
No! How do you shoot me from back there? I should have watched.
Locating.
Nice. Nice
Back
EMP.
in action.
30 seconds.
enemy turret here.
Alright, we got this. It's gonna be tough. I don't think we're gonna win to do it though.
rocket ball online.
Thank you.
10 seconds.
Push forward. Not over yet.
How'd he kill me? Seriously? What? He didn't even shoot.
Raptora systems online.
Let them.
Oh my god, this game. Okay, I can't do it anymore. I can't. I just can't do it anymore. The game has gone to crap. Oh my god. We need to fix this. We need to change this. Let's do this. We're gonna go to... Wow, that was just so bad. Oh, wow, because I can't spell. There we go. Alright, we update that. Excellent. And then let's go over here. Grab this. Do the same thing here on the side. Change this to. There we go. Update that. That way they're both in. They're both synced. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. And in we go. Okay, what do we got here? Were we 54 when we stopped last night? I don't know, we might have been. Alright, let's get in here. What do we? 54. Oh wait, do we even... Oh yeah, I think we did do our 54 quest. Right? I think so. Also, where did we log out? Did we log out in the inn? Sounds like we did. This is funny, right? She wakes up like she's all like, oh, my eyes. Hey, what's going on, man? There we go. Alright, let me close this. Alright, let's see. Where are we at? We're 54. So we get our 54 spell? We did. Armor Crush. 56 is the next one. Ooh, lightning. 56 is going to be Shadewalker. Duality. Okay, so every 2 levels from here on out. 60, 62, then 68. Wow, that's actually a big gap there. Ooh. Oh, a little thundery. A little lightning out there. Alright, so 54. So once we get to 60, we can actually do Heaven on High, which will actually be a good place to transition to. It's only so many times you can do Palace of the Dead. Oh my god. Let's see. Is there another job we want to try this morning? Recommend the gear is good on the gear, okay? Let's see, what do we want to try? Well, Ninja's 54, Samurai 65, so those are pretty close. Paladin is 30, Warrior is 31, Monk's 30. Who's the lowest? Blue Mage. You can't do Blue Mage, though. Blue Mage is a complete solo class. Warrior's 31, Scholar's 37. Scholar and Summoner both share the exact same class, so they level up exactly the same or together. So if one's 37, the other one will be 37, vice versa. 62 Red Mage, 40 Bard, Machinist is 34, with Dragoons at 31. 30 Paladin is the lowest. Yeah. Alright, well, let's get a run in here. Where are we at? Anyways, reset. Yeah, we'll reset this. I know, it's not the right job. There you go, matched party, yes, 51. Ready to go. Wow, that's quick. What if I should go in as like my healer or something? Oh, I could go in as my white mage. That'd make it interesting. What level is my white mage? Well, now we can't. Now we can't look. Can't look now. Summoner, Paladin, Ninja, and Red Mage. Bring it on, little dude. Yeah, they went to the dead end. I went to the right spot. Think you very little. Oh, what? I found the bomb. Ooh, this is a packed room. Wow. Those guys are not going to budge either. At least he moved a little bit. He's trying to use line of sight to basically draw him out of the room there. Oi. What are we doing? You know they're not going to move, right? You know, they're put-ins. They're going to sit themselves right there unless you line of sight them. Just going to range this guy? Because all those mobs in there will actually aggro. Well, guys, still have to fight this one. Which we should do so at range. Yeah, that's a good call. Good call. Okay. Ooh, tough room. Good. Glad we got out of it pretty quick. How's your day going this morning or this afternoon, JB? How's your morning and afternoon so far? Oops. And let's go this way. We're gonna go this way. Who's leading on here? The Summoner? That was a weird view there for a second. Again, the Summoners led us to the dead end. Haha. Good choice, bud. Good choice. I just followed the ninja. Better back it in. Don't know how I get. Oh gosh, there's another one. Where's this guy come from? Oh no, we're all silenced? Oh boy, this is not gonna be good. Yeah, let's keep him in there. Wow. Who stepped on the sound? Oh gosh, dang it. And I'm also paralyzed? Ah, this more. Wait, why did the Summoner go over there and do that? You know, I have like paralysis, right? And like everybody was silent still? Some people, man. I can't even move. Paralysis is gone. There we go. Not sure what the Summoner's thinking there. Nothing good. That's what he's thinking. Nothing good. We're gonna go. There's only one way to go this time, so really can't mess this up. There's only one way to go. So we'll fight this guy first because he will come to me, and we'll fight the put-in afterwards. What's our Summoner doing? It's really interesting to see like how he basically ran up to the mob, even though he's a ranged caster. Not enough? Not enough. Alright, let's keep going. Oh, we only need... Really? Only one more, huh? That was weird. There's only like 3 mobs we killed. Well, you know, I'm gonna take it. It means we're out easy. Out quick. It's really what it's all about. Where's the next step on the tour take us? Floor 54 with an interesting configuration. I see our out is right over here. So somebody's rocking the palm in their rage already? Alright, cool, cool, cool. Alright, well, I mean, you can just get in here if you want and take that show to the next floor. Or you can have the scholar messing us up again. Why did the guy pop the pomander? 55. Definitely a familiar sight. Alright, get to cleaning out here while your buff still remains. Not sure how much longer it remains for. Well, you better smack those quick. Nope. Okay, that's as far as it went. I was wondering to what point would it actually start running out. Found my answer. What's this way? Here it is. Here's the out. Is there really nothing in here? Oh, there's a palace imp. There's two things here. Somebody's gonna get pox on them because they decided to open up a chest that was basically tainted. Are they still fighting that over there? Yeah, they are. This is definitely a disjointed group, for sure. Yeah, stick with me, guys. I know where I'm going. Oh, the paladin healed us. Ah, and paladin cleansed himself of it. Oh no, we must have had a pomander then of that. Yeah. Okay, that probably makes sense. Sure, that makes sense. And let's go this way. I'm not open that. You open it. All right, here's our out right there. There's that orb. Okay. Whoa. Gonna go down there and get that piece of the accursed horde. Okay, that's a big scary room. A lot of mobs in a small area. Oh boy, here we go. We got overlapping. Let's just fight them all. See, this would probably be the state in which we'd want to use our pomander. But I think the team has got it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Wow, 50% cleaned and not cleaned. Woo! Let's go. Let's leave this place. It's a pretty tough room. Alright, in we go. 57. So not too bad. We're almost there. $55. Where are we going? Let's go this way. Because this is the right way to go, actually. Again, we're looking for the key on the map there. Go. Smack them around. Make it happen. Gosh, thank God that was in the mimic. Oh, we actually have pox removal, so. Oh no, they're actually fighting. What a weird proposition. Well, is this guy and the door opens up, or we gotta go back and kill more? Nope, it opened. Nice. It did not open. Go face him. Go kill him. Go get him. So I got to pull him to us. What's happening? That was extremely weird. Didn't that like pulsate twice and then stop? For no reason. There's no other mobs, nobody's outside of the circle. Just 2 pulses and stop. There you go. I was just about to do that. Go Manticore, go. Might as well. Alright, let's see if we can't use this one in the next floor. What do we got? Yeah, I'll do it. No more traps. I did. I used the Serenity. It's open. Let's go. Let's get. I know, bud. You used it, and there's not really much to do. That's definitely on him. I'm pinning on him. What do we have? Do we have any Pomander strengths? None. Okay. Alright, I'll go. Go Paladin. Keep right there. That works. Perfect. Oh, he's going after. Oh gosh. Oh, excuse me. There we go, we got this dude. It's a pretty big dude. Alright, so let's see here. Who are we giving it to? Paladin, because play a tank. You actually play a tank, which is, you know, a rarity. No, wait, there it is. I was wondering where the heck it went to. We had got 561,600 rogue experience points. Yeah, we're almost. So the next run will definitely be 55. And then maybe we'll try the, Alright, let's do the next one. Enter this one, make it happen. Well, we didn't get an insta-queue? What? Look at the size of this bow, man. Holy crap. That is freaking massive. Wow, that's a big-ass bow. It's a real big-ass bow. Wait, what level is our, bard? 40. Yeah, that should be nice to actually do that with the bard then. Samurai, ninja, dragoon. Dragoon would be fun to play actually. A dragoon's only 31. Oh yeah, we probably could work on that too. Shadowbringers is coming. Oh yeah. Oh, itchy. Oh yeah, let me see here. Let me see if I can actually pull it up. If I go this way, if I do this, okay, just do your little thing you need to do. 29 megs. All right, it's fine. Install that real quick. Oh, right now it should take some time. Okay. I love how it does like the first 21 megs like in less than a second. And then the last ones it wants to be really slow on. It's really strange. Okay, back in the game. Where are we? 3 out of 4? 17 minutes is the average wait time? Really? 17 minutes. Weird. What's she rocking? A level 57 Dragoon. Okay, okay. Oh, nice. Looking nice, looking nice. Alright, 56. Very nice. So 3 out of 4, huh? We'll give it like 5 minutes. We don't get the 4th member. Oh, let's repair all this. Why is that like that? Did we die? I don't think we did. "17 minutes. That's a quick 17 minutes. Oh. Machinist, a astrologian, a samurai, myself. What a combo we make. Well, which how did you miss this dude? See, I would love to play Machinist, but I really have no idea how to actually play the Machinist. I think we just sneak by and get in. Nice, 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 nice. We all snuck through. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I legitimately have no idea how to play the Machinist. It would be interesting to learn. That's for sure, because it's one of those classes where not a lot of people play it. So the info is a little bit on the lacking side. Woo! Nope, I'm silenced. I wonder, was our Astro silenced too? No, she's not. Or he's not. Killer Turkey's the name. You know, doing stuff with turkeys. This is his game. Well, we gotta get out of there. Bam. See what happens when we get our sound. Okay, it's good, Sky. Boom, spreading the fire. Alright. Where's our way out of here? Well, we went the completely wrong way twice. Here it is. Here's our way out. Oh, 2 of them. Good. That's what I like to see. Let's do a little AoE. Oh, wow, there's so much. Wait, another one? Oh, how'd this guy aggro us? That's weird. There we go. That's quick. 63. That's a pretty quick set of floors there. Well, let's go this way. My guess. It looks like a dead end, and it is. Question is, what's in here? Nothing. You want to fight it? Okay, let's do it. You're the boss. Where are we going? The other person already went that way. Our Astro's like, I got this. I can solo this. We'll need you guys for it. Like, good point, good point, good point. You're guessing up here? Alright, we'll see if he's right. No, yeah, he's right. Look at that. Wow, nice guess, nice guess. There's the fourth member of the band. Showing up a little late. I think we'll put on some music after this. Kind of help with the leveling process. Let's go this way. Well, we picked up a... Oh, we have a pox remover, so that's good. Ah, get back here. I wonder if I have a gap closer. It's behind us actually. Oh boy. So I found the magic button. This guy, I want him. That actually, wow, that hit me. Okay, all right. We have the hotkey of those up actually. That's my dream within a dream. So that's my level. Wait, come back around. Let me see. What was that? That's my level 60 spell. Dream within a dream. Yeah, level 60. Okay. That's basically my 3 strikes, or yeah, my 3 hits. I wanted to try changing those to 0.5 and actually see if that works in the macro. Okay, must be more this way. It's gotta be all the way up on top of those stairs. Or is it that way? Oh, buddy. It is not. It is over here. Well, sneaky through. Sneaky through. Oh, maybe. Sneaky to a point. Ah, maybe I should replace. Okay, let me do that. Let's swap these around. There we go. What is this, anyways? 10. Oh, yeah. I don't need to worry about those because those are actually macroed up. So we're good. Nice. So it's right here. Got it. That should be easy for us to do now. There we go. Here's the room. Here's the way out. Oh no. What do I got? What do I got? What do I got? Well, let's wait the customary. Oh wait, so our machinist and 2 people are not with. Oh, cool. There we go. Good. Nope, not yet. Not 100% good. That did it. Let's go. Hey, Astro, let's go. Well, we have 1 Pomander Rage, so that's good. At least on 1 floor we'll be able to use that to kind of speed things along. That'd be good. That'd be really good. The Cairn of Passage is activated. What shall you have me do? Alright. Oi. Ooh, it's a packed room. I was like, we getting lag here? What's happening? Wow, that was actually one room and done. Wow. It's kind of a weird room, actually. Kind of a weird floor. Everything we needed to take out was right there. That's definitely helpful. Let's go this way, dude. Follow me. I'll be your shepherd. Let's go this way. Alright, this is floor 68. So I'm going to get this coffer just in case there's a mimic here. There's not. I'm going to remove the traps, though. Don't worry about traps right now. Is that my pet? I wish. But hey, you guys want to fight? Just asking. Question. Just on the safe side, though. I don't think you want to fight. Get him, Manticore. Smack him around. Alright, finish up the rest of these guys. This is our way out up here. Here it is. Oh, thank God, it's not a mimic. I was like, oh, God, it's taking a while to open. And done. Alright, floor 69 incoming. So that's in the Palace of the Dead. That's actually something you can use as a you can turn yourself into that. It basically allows you to one-shot most enemies as long as the floor doesn't say knock back, that you can't knock back. All the damage comes from the knockback. There's a knockback. Oh yeah, let's do this. This is the last floor. Why am I not doing this? Ooh, it's a big floor too. Oh, in mid-swing. Alright, now we have to do the old-fashioned way. We actually have to fight him. Oh wow, really? That was it? Wow, such a big floor. Hey, what's up, Dave? Yeah, so there's it's kind of like one of those things where it's you know it's helpful on the floor to kind of speed things along. All right, here we go. Boss time on floor 50 and floor 60 and floor 70. Who's our tank? Me. I'm taking it. All right, let's put a little ninjutsu down right here. Right here in the middle. There it is. Keep him in there if you guys can. Well, I mean, clearly he likes to come my direction. Yep. Gonna hit him with it again. Okay, so now he's put down his little debuff in the area. It's back out. Alright, let's do a little thunder. That'd be cool if you actually did the thunder inside the water. Actually did more damage because of the... There we go, let's get in here. Let's just get in here. How much damage we taking? It's not horrible. Control 7 that, Control 3 it. We'll live. I'll take that damage. Time to limit break it. Oh yeah, big numbers, boys, big numbers. Alright, let's get out of here. We should give it to our Astro because he actually was a healer. Which is, again, rare in Palace of the Dead. Eye is on until about 1 Eastern. Yeah, then it has to have to go get a massage. You know, it's one of those, you know, one of those me moments. All right, we're 55. Welcome to 55, where you get nothing until you hit 56. So yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not going to one of those places. Thank you. They would like to go to one of those places, I think. Yeah, it's kind of late in the afternoon for you, man. That's right. Dave's holding out for one of those. That's how the first massage has to be. Either that or nothing. Let's see. You think we get somebody from 71 to 80? Let's find out. 1 out of 4. Average wait time 20 minutes. I'm gonna say in like 2 minutes. If I don't see another number, we'll reset that and go back to floor 51. 55 is where we're at. 55 nothing. 56 gives us Shade Walker. 58 gives us Duality, and 60. Well, that's way faster than I thought. 60 gives us Dream Within a Dream. Okay, I get you. I got you, bud. I know where it's at. Alright, what do we got? We have a ninja, an astro, a samurai, and a machinist. Hey, the same guys we were just with. God, don't be a mimic. Oh, it's like, Jesus Christ, I think it's a mimic. It's like it's taking forever to open. Let's pull this dude. Okay, apparently I have a friend here now. Thank you, Astro. Oh, welcome to the land of being a frog, where all your ribbit dreams come true. It does. I'll show it to you after this, actually. It's called a Summoner and a Scholar. The Summoner is basically like your pet DPS class. Your Scholar is like your pet healing class. Because you get fairies that help you heal. Oh no, wrong one. Wrong ninjutsu. I mean, if you want to pull them to us, then by all means, stand in it. There you go. This is what we call utility. Oh yeah, this yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be there in time. We just started this run. Hit him in the butt. Let's see how fast we can make this. Oh, yeah, I don't think we're going to finish in 7 minutes. I wish. Oh, you should tell me you wanted to see what a healing class looked like. Yeah, there's a summoner class. So the summoner basically is melee, it's ranged DPS, magical DPS, and you can summon different types of pets. You get like these little like pets that they call them carbuncles, and basically there's 2 flavors of them as you're leveling up. Then basically, you also can summon more advanced pets later on in your leveling process. And they basically will do different mechanics or different spells based upon the class that you're summoning. You have a base set of spells that you yourself as a caster have, but your pets bring to the table additional sets of abilities. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get out of here in 7 minutes. I mean, let's see how fast. I mean, maybe. Oh, is it nice? I'm just doing this to get prepared for the Shadowbringers expansion for this game that's coming out on the 28th of June for early access and July 2nd for general release. What's back this way? You guys going this way? Let's grab the bear. Hey, there it goes. Are we good? No, we need more. Which one are you fighting? This one? Okay. Oh, good. Well, then if that's the case, then I can show you the class right after this. Oh, we'll definitely be done. I mean, this might need like 20 minutes to do the entirety. Alright, let's get out of here, boys. 73. Here we come. Certain floors can be really quick. This one was a little longer than needed. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries, JB. Hey, everybody get in here. Let's go, slacker. Alright, so this is floor 73 or 74? Let's say 74. That's 73, I bet. 73, yeah, that was just floor 72. Alright, 73, which way are we going? Let's go this way. Let's zoom out a little bit. What do we got down here? We got, looks like a... look at that's a trap right there. That's what a trap looks like when you actually can see them in game. Are we going the right way? Yeah, we kind of are going the right way. Ouch. Big hit. Oh boy, we'll get him anyways. Actually, we're in the dead end side. We're going the wrong way. I have. Oh, I don't know if I played the Haunted Forest event. I played D2 for a while. Destiny 2, actually. I should not call it D2. It's kind of. There we go. Oh, is it? It's the Halloween event. Oh no, I don't think I did the Halloween event in Destiny 2 last year. Wait, or did I? No, I did a different event. No, I did their. I did a different event. Oh, there's a lot in here. Okay, cool. No problem. No problem. We got the little ninjutsu here. Hit him with some lightning. Okay, let's get out of that. Assassinate him. Nice. Everybody in? Let's go. Stupid traps. Oh, really? How far did you make it into it? I'm guessing that this is not the right way. It's not. Don't go this way. Go that way. You popped the map open. Why did they go that way? We have the map. We can see the map, actually. Machinist is just knocking out solo. Damn, that's got some pretty good damage right there. Finish it off for you. You're welcome. Oh, step aside from that. Okay, let's not dance around the trap. Let's move away from the trap, please, so somebody doesn't accidentally step on it. And then kill us all. Well, let's just forget that guy and go this way. 10-ish? Level 10-ish? Okay. Did you get anything good out of it? What was the reward for it? Was it mostly cosmetic again? I was there when they did like the faction event where you had where you could get there's 3 different factions and you can get weapons from those factions. I forget what it's called actually. Oh really? An epic gun, huh? Oh yeah, I'm sure we're still fighting. Well, apparently we are. No, we're not. That gorilla's just doing what the gorilla wants to do. Alright, 75, here we come. 75, moving on up. Let's see, is this going to be a short floor? Hard to say. Let's open up though and find out what we get. Pomander of Steel. Let's get this big Cyclops walking. Let's do a little fire breath. Oh, babe, we couldn't do it on that guy because he died. We'll do fire on that guy. Oh, Gorilla wants to play. Okay, Gorilla. Oh, I'm sorry, Sasquatch. My mistake there. Oh, he's dead. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Astro. Actually, you should have gone with the other ones, Astro, because they're going to need it more than I will. I could always, create Shadow and just reduce my damage by 80%. Yeah, actually, I did see Destiny 2 on Steam this morning. Actually, it was in the header of the homepage. I was like, oh, so you guys moving it off of the Blizzy app, moving it off of Battle.net. Now you're all your own separate companies, which is good for you guys. We're good? Wait, there's still something we have to fight. Here it comes. Now let's leave. Now you hate them. Yeah, I hear you. I think a lot of people feel that way now. Yeah, there used to be that company where we found there was some purity, some semblance of what a development company should be like. What it meant to care about your customers. What it meant to be just a good company that people wanted to work at and people wanted to play their games. And now you're right. Now it's going in the opposite direction, which, oh god, we're going to be hit by this. Nope, we actually took care of it. Good. You still on that guy? Okay, let's get him. You're welcome. Short floor? Short floor. I think we get out of here with these 2 kills. Whoa, let's get out of there. Oh no, what's going on there? Oh no, somebody stepped on the trap. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh god! There's so many! I'm putting it down here in this hallway. Maybe just running back and forth. Oh no! This is gonna get interesting. We have a healer, so the healer's definitely gonna be working a little overtime here. Oh, damn it. And somebody stepped on the bottom. That's fine. Oh, Guild Wars 2, yeah. Guild Wars 2, yeah. The Guild Wars 2, see, the thing that gets me with Guild Wars 2, like, I like Guild Wars 2 to a point. The point I start to not enjoy it is the point where I realize that there's no Trinity in the game. And that everybody's heals are rather... They're there, they're limited, and I like a game with a Trinity, you know? I think that's what gets me the most about that game is just there's no dedicated healing class. Oh no, we stepped on it again. I'll pop it. Just, I got this. I got this. I got this. Watch out, boys. I got it. Excuse me, I'm working here. Who else is in here? Nobody else. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, that's annoying too. If you don't get in there and do it, you're done. That's it. You missed it. Sorry. Not happening again. No repeat shot. Oh my god, how many traps are on this stupid floor? Holy crap. How many times? I got 27 seconds left. You guys finding something? I'm coming, I'm coming. Okay guys, let's take it one at a time here. I got 27 seconds, I got 14, I might as well just do it. Might as well just finish this room because if I don't, by the time we transfer to the next floor, there's just, this is just gonna run out. Yeah, World vs. World was pretty fun. I remember doing it with like very large like encounters where like we'd have like at the time like TeamSpeak server set up, and we'd have like different channels for like different like companies, and we'd have company commanders that would report back to the actual like chain of command or like the brass up top about like strategies and how it was working and what was going on, and people would be changing servers to do like little spy missions and such things like. Yeah, it was like, that was fun, but it was just, at the end of the day, it turned into just like one big Zerg fest, right? Like, if you brought like 60 guys, you know, you're gonna pretty much, you know, overtake the area. And if they brought 60 guys, you're pretty much gonna lose that. And it was just a Zerg fest at the end of the day is what it turned into. I mean, there was great ideas, right, with like the catapults, the ballistas, you know, the plans, getting the materials with the Doliacs. And getting them to deliver the stuff, or you know, cutting off those supply lines. But yeah, it just turned into me, at least for me, just one big Zerg fest. I think we sneak by by just killing this dude here. You ready? You didn't have to fight this. Oh, yeah, we didn't fight it. Yeah, exactly. Like, so I have the ballistas here. You guys are like the advanced party. You go and scout out the area. You call back if you see any type of movement from the enemy. You guys sweep this way. Oh yeah, I mean tremendously. It was a lot of fun from that perspective. But then it just became one big Zerg. Alright, last floor before the boss. So we technically get out of here in probably 3 more minutes? 4 more minutes? Oof. That was fun looking. Alright, somebody stand on this because we know where this is. There, you go open it. It's all for you. Oh, good. It's a short floor, too. Nice. Okay, we're just going to step back here for a second. Wait, who? Oh, no. No! Okay, we're good. We're good. Would I stop being confused right now? Okay, we're good. Nice. That's a nice strat. Strength and steel. And we're going in. Oh god, this guy is Gidana. Alright, let's ticky tempo it and then pop it. There we go. Stand that. Okay, we've got 1 foot in. Okay, he had 1 foot in. Okay, at least this guy's not disappearing on the screen anymore like last time. Whoop. Big ol' fire. Control 7 that. Oh boy, where's he going? He's gonna stay here? I'll put it right here then. No, I thought we hit 3. Wait, is our limit break ready? Let's do it. Limit break, boys. Okay, that could have hurt me a little bit. Yeah, we got this. Nice, GG, thank you all. Nicely done, nicely done. Yeah, it was free. That's why we'd kind of sneak over to the other servers and take a look and see what was happening. Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. But that was a few years back now. That was easily a few years back. How many points we get for this run? 604,800. That's a nice number. I like that. Let's get that to go a few more times. So that's about 800,000 out of 2.2 million. That's not bad. We think like 2 or 3 more runs there brings us to 56. All right, let me show you the class. So let's see here. So this is what's nice about this one. So one character can be many jobs in this game. So how easy it is to switch is just switch your gear. So in this case, we want to be that summoner. So where's my summoner? Here it is. And now my summoner. See? My summoner. See, I also have this big book. This is basically like your book. So here, if I call out my carbuncle, I'm writing in my book. And here's my carbuncle. I can also call out Ifrit. That's one of my pets. So you can see here from the... So here's what we got, right? So at level 4, you get your first summon spell. And your first summon spell looks like this, right? Actually, we already had it out there. So your first pet you get is this one right here. You can be all the classes. Yep. So this is your first pet you get. Once you get up a little bit higher, you get your second version of this pet, which looks like this. Is now gold. And then later on, you can see here's all your base spells, and here's your job specific spells. Here's summon 3, right? You also have the ability to summon other types of pets here. So we summon Ifrit again. Ta-da! So here, see, I'm all these jobs. I'm Astrologian, I'm a white mage, I'm a red mage, I'm a scholar, I'm a bard, I'm a dragoon, I'm a samurai, a monk, a dark knight, a blue mage, a ninja, a paladin, a monk, a black mage, a summoner, a warrior, and a machinist. So again, and here's how you can see them here too. See them all here? Tanks, 3 healers, melee DPS, these 4, physical range DPS, these 2, and then magical range DPS, these 4. No, I'm just one monk. So where's my monk? Here? Yeah, there's two versions of the monk for some reason. I saved it twice. You basically can just delete the set. You can just right click on it and you can just say delete set. Red mage. What determines it here is your soul crystal. So that soul crystal and your weapon basically determine the two. My astrologian. My astro. This is my main like healing class. I want to do not gravity. I want to do. Give me the. Where's that? Where's the one I like? Oh right, we reset this, so we don't have the one we like. Okay, let's do it. Where is it? Let's find it. Where are you? See, it's all unlocked here. Everything's unlocked. Yeah, Mesmer was the class I played for a very long time, actually. Mesmer, and then I got into the Guardian, and then I got into, I think, the Rogue or the thief, I should say. Where is my gravity? Militech 2. Earthly Star. Here's what's cool about this Earthly Star thing. Look at that, right? That pattern. These are like little planets. You get like a constellation. That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool for an astrologian. Then I can roll this again. See, the astrologian is basically like an RNG healer, right? Where these cards that you draw give benefits to your party, and certain ones are definitely more helpful than others. Like this one here is called the Arrow and reduces the weapon skill cast time and recast time, spell cast time and recast time, and auto attack delay of party members or self by 10%. So basically what you would do is you would draw the card. You would then basically see if it's worth what you want. Hey, what's up, Murray? And then if you didn't like it, you could burn the card, which ups your chances for the next one. Or you could take the card and store it for later usage. Or you could apply it to a party member. So basically, as well as healing. So you'd also do like random types of buffs. And see, up here is your astrologian gauge, where you basically can, and you'll see next time I spin the card deck here, you'll see it will draw the card here. See here? So this is the bowl, right? And the bowl basically reduces damage taken. So in a healing situation, I would apply this to the tank, and the tank would take less damage, allowing me to focus on other people. Or I could put it on myself, and basically I was drawing too much aggro and getting beaten on. But that's the thing, is that's the random nature of it, right? So here we could do a spread. So the spread stores that, right? And then starts the next recast timer. Now the spread will hold that card, the bowl, and then after 20 seconds, I can actually, or 30 seconds, I can actually redraw another card and have two active cards. So I can actually plan ahead and spin for two cards. So it's the whole like approach to this thing you could definitely play around with. Another fun class is the Bard. The Bard. The reason why the Bard is pretty cool is because you see here, Mage's Ballad. So if you can click on say you. So the Mage's Ballad, so you get these ballads, right? You get this ballad here, you get Faux Requiem, you get Army's Peon or Paeon, you get the Wanderer's Minuet, you get Nature's, and the Wardens, and one other. And these basically is what you apply to your party in terms of like the buffs. So each one has a little bit different buff. Yeah, that's actually a good question about the Harry Potter one. There's a lot of money to be made there for sure. It's because this game exists. No, I don't know actually. My Paladin, my Blue Mage. Oh, my Summoner, my Warrior, Machinist. Yeah, I wish I could learn how to play the Machinist. My Samurai. Ida, watch out, you're in my way. Yeah, my Samurai. Victory Pose. No rainbow mage. No, the choices of mage so far are basically this. You have a red mage. That's right, Dave. That's right. So you see here, in the mage category, you have white mage, which is your healer. You have a red mage, which is like a combination between heals and DPS. You see him right down here. You have a blue mage, which a blue mage was basically, you see it says limited job. The blue mage was created for people who just want to solo in this game. Because the blue mage learns its spells, not by getting to certain levels, but by defeating certain enemies and learning those enemies' spells. Now, blue mage can't go into like dungeons, and can't go into other things. So that's why it's a very limited job, right? Black mage definitely just brings the DPS. Red mage is a combination of white and black. And when you actually spec up into the red mage, it looks a little bit like this, where you actually will get a you'll get a meter right here. You can see this. This is a white and a black meter. So basically, what you need to do is you need to balance the magics all the way up. So you need to do a little white, you need to do a little black magic, and then if you go too far into one category, the other category will suffer. So like if you do too much black magic, and you need like, oh crap, I need to heal somebody, your cast time on the white magic will actually take longer. So it's actually a pretty interesting way. It's kind of like a balanced approach to like actually doing DPS, right? Blue mage got the look, astrologian, white mage. What level is my white mage actually? Wait, what happened to my white mage's outfit? Wait, what's my white mage's outfit? Okay, that's better. What's that? Yeah, here's my white mage. There we go. There's my white mage. Okay. It's like, what was that outfit beforehand? I don't even know what the hell that was. So you can definitely see here. I think so. That's probably how I got all this coin right now. I think my favorite classes right now are definitely Astrologian. White Mage is what I started with a very long time ago. Dragoons are pretty fun because they're very they have a lot of jumping mechanics to them. Samurai is actually pretty fun because, it's a samurai. Right? I mean, you literally can just make these cherry blossom leaves show up. Right? So that's actually a pretty fun job. Monk, Dark Knight, Blue Mage, Ninja, I kind of like right now. Paladin. It's definitely like my shield tank that can also heal himself, so that's actually a pretty good combination. Summoner's pretty cool. You've seen it, right? Call out our pets. Scholar's pretty interesting because, like I said, it's the exact same mirror class, except here you're not summoning a carbuncle as much as you're summoning a fairy. And that fairy will definitely heal other people as well as you can heal people. So it will also kind of find somebody who's low and heal them up, and you can cast some offensive spells, and they in turn can basically do some healing. The one in the dungeon that I did, that was the ninja here. This is my ninja. Actually, the thing's telling me I have upgraded gear here. What do I have in this? What can I equip? Ah, okay. So this is like a 50, 58. What does this look like? Ah, look at those blades. Okay, I see. Oh, you want me to try the fairy in the dungeon? Ah, yeah, if I remember actually how to play my summoner. Let me see here. Okay, alright, I see you. I see what you got. Let's see here. Scholar. Let me see. What level are we on my scholar? We're 37. So what do we have? 38 gives us Ruin 2. We have Summon 1, Summon 2, Ruin, Bio, Physic. So basically Physic is my cure, is 4. Got it. 5 is my Aether Flow. Restores 10% of maximum MP, so I can use that to actually restore mana to myself. Okay. 6 is Energy Drain, which basically does that. Miasma does that. That's my summon 2. Probably could put you guys up here. This is my res. Probably put that there. Probably move that down to 8. What's this? Sustain. Continuously restore. So this is basically like a hot. All right, this goes here. I can move you guys off. Yeah, teleport. Keep that. Keep that. Bane will bring you closer. So where's summon 1? Bio, here's summon here. Physic. Okay. There we go. Alright. In, reset, enter here, matched, yes. Floor 1. 7 minutes? Let me change my minion. Let's go with something ground-based. How about a wind-up Minfilia? Minfilia. Well, no. This one's a little special, right? This is what's called the Palace of the Dead. See here, it's called the Deep Dungeon. So basically, what this is designed to do is it's designed to basically care for the fact that since one character can be all these jobs, the repeatability of questing doesn't exist, right? You can't, like, if you blow through like Quarry Mill here, right, and you do all these quests here, everything here with an exclamation point, right? You knock all this out as a scholar, and then you come back and you're like, hey, I want to do this now as like a bard. Those quests won't exist. So this deep dungeon here was invented to basically allow you to level in a place like this, which would basically allow you to accumulate your experience points faster. So basically people would farm this to level up their secondary jobs that they were looking to try out. Back to attributes. Wait, is this the max gear too? Yes, max level gear, okay. Oh, summon. Okay, I can just take you off of there. I can move everybody down 1. And down, and there we go. Resurrect will stay where Resurrect is. Actually, we probably put it over here, actually. Let me see here. In the HUD layout, let's see here. Let's... Party list. Probably put it here so I can actually see easier who I need to heal. Let me save that. What is the macros here? Do I have any macros for this? No, I have the macros for the ninja. Okay, I could probably get one for the... So the Aether Flow Gauge, this thing here, displays the current strength of its Arcanist or Scholar's Aether. As the player increases in level, the amount of Aether that can be stored at one time will increase to a maximum of 3 units. We have 2. Aether is consumed when executing certain actions, such as energy drain. Cool. Alright, there we go. Elephant pet. Let me see. Do I have the elephant pet? I don't think I do. Minion. What do we have? We have the behemoth. We have the buffalo calf. We have Bomboko. Yeah, there's... Yeah, oh yeah, right here. There it is. Oh yeah, there he is. Oh yeah, I wonder where you get him from. There's Toonberry from, if you remember, Final Fantasy earlier games. Especially Final Fantasy VII. Goddamn Toonberries. Or Tonberries. Yeah, that's actually pretty cute. Yeah, the customization or the amount of things you can collect. I mean, look at this is the mailbox, right? It's a Moogle. It's a delivery Moogle. With Final Fantasy X? Okay, yeah, mine was 7. I played that for so long, for so many hours. But yeah, I could see why 10 would be a favorite. Yeah, 10 was actually pretty groundbreaking at the time. She's got leggings on. Look at that. You can see that. Those little folds right there. Yeah. 7. And yeah, they're all turn-based, yeah. Final Fantasy XI was the first departure as being an excellent MMO for the genre. And I played the hell out of Final Fantasy X. No joke. Played forever in Final Fantasy X. That was actually the first game I started with as an MMO, and it was actually for the PlayStation 2 at the time. Then when this game came out as the next genre, or as the next MMO in the series, I bought the collector's edition of it actually, and then they ended up closing that version of the game down because it was not well received. Then they redid the game, and then that's where it gets its name from now as A Realm Reborn, because they literally scrapped it and started all over again. And I was like, no, and I bought the collector's edition. Nah. And I bought the physical collector's box edition too. Oh no, yeah, 10 wasn't. No, 11 was. Palace of the Dead. Ah, we got White Mage, myself. We got double heals this time. That's different. Double heals. Usually we're lucky to get one, if anything. I'm the only one with a red weapon. Let me call out my fairy. I'm actually level 1. I don't even have a fairy yet. That's level 4. Which should come pretty easy, actually. Get him. See, now we're level 2. It'll go pretty quick to get to 4. We're pretty weak in the state. Put a dot on him. Oh, yeah, easily, dude. Easily agree. Woo, we're 3. Now we can actually summon. Let's summon our fairy. Let's go, girl. Follow. Alright. Actually, it's time for us to leave, because the gateway's opened. Well, this is a sprint. Far behind me is my fairy. Okay, so she's not tremendously far behind. There we go. So that little circle with the slash, everybody knows what that means. Okay. Yeah, it definitely is over. And it's sad too. Yeah, Dave and I were talking about that a few nights back, about like loot boxes and, you know, the way in which they ship games these days. Get them. I know I needed to heal myself there. Put a dot on him. It's going to be a big dot. Yeah, that's the problem now, is that they, you know... That's one of the downsides of actually being a public company. Is that, you know, you do have these challenges to overcome with investors, and making sure, you know, that investors are seeing return on investments, because you need to make sure that, you know, for the plans that you want, because now you're publicly funded, that you need to get these private funds. You can get them through, you know, obviously through stock, because you get market capital, and you can kind of convert that into, you know, leverage and, you know, credit, or can kind of help your position to borrow. But at a certain point, you really need to go out and get more investors. And so they go and get these investors to support the games. Those investors want to see returns on their investments, in turn, they're forced to actually deliver a product, good or not. People will buy early access so they can show those sales, and then they just kind of like goes around and around and around. I mean, there's another thing too with like, what was it with like EA and like Call of Duty, was it, where it sold 8 million units with like within like the opening week or the opening month, and they felt it was a disappointment because 8 million wasn't enough probably units to make the investors feel happy. But in any other day and age, 8 million, it would be like, that's freaking incredible. I think who's to blame is it's probably both. Gamers expect more challenging, more visually appealing, just more, and so the bar to attract in the crowded space right now of games requires more ambition. That ambition comes as a promise to like gamers and investors that we're going to put out a very ambitious product, it's going to be this, that, and the other thing, and that we're looking to sell this many units, and so that's where they get the investors from. The gamers get hyped about it because they're like, oh my god, it's going to be a new game, it's going to be awesome, look what they're doing, this looks really cool. And then kind of like Anthem, right? But then we kind of learned what was happening with Anthem. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you want to watch an individual who actually really I think at least resonates with me and a bunch of others about video game journalism is a guy named Jim Sterling. And Jim Sterling's basically touches on every single one of these subjects, and how it's just for the most part, the way in which gaming companies now see gamers is they see gamers as payers, not as gamers. And so that's where you start to see like the disconnect, right, between the businesses or the business decisions and like the game decisions, right? The problem is when you have a company like like a public company, right? Let me heal them up. I heard you, dude. The problem is that you normally don't have that expertise, right? If you're a developer or a developing house, right, you don't have that business expertise. Yeah, Jim Sterling, exactly. Is that you don't have that expertise, so you obviously have to go and hire for what you don't, for what you lack in knowledge, and then it becomes more about like, because you think about it, right? If you think about it, right? Let's think about this, right? How much do you think it costs to make Overwatch? It cost hundreds of millions to make Overwatch, right? It was part of a failed project that they basically had to turn into something, right? So you go out, so you're an executive at a company, and you don't have this amount of cash sitting on hand, right? So you can do a few things, right? One is you can go and you try to leverage your position in the marketplace to leverage and borrow against that position and say, listen, my company's easily valued at like $300 million. I'm looking to take out a $100 million loan in order to fund this next project that we have. And the banks would be like, okay, what's the risk? What's the reward here? What does it look like? How's the industry look? And they'll run all these numbers, and they might be like, too risky, or yeah, that's fine. But then the problem becomes is that you're sitting on a $100 million loan that basically will be coming due at a certain point. Will mature at a certain point and will require payments, right? Either structured payments or basically, payments nonetheless, right? The other way you can do it is you can go and say, what? I don't want to actually leverage my company's position, right? Because I think that's too risky for us, because if we can't recuperate that, we're going to eat the entirety of that cost. So what they do then is they basically go off and they get investors, and they promise them, like, hey, listen, we're making this game. We're looking to raise $100 million in capital. We want to see if you want to come on board to, contribute to this. What we're offering in return is that we're looking at like a 25% return on your investment. And we're looking to basically start game development in 2019. We're looking to get the game out the door by 2022, and we're going to get about 25% return on your investment starting in 2022. And so you go, all right, well, see, if I give you $10 million, right, I would definitely like to see a 25% return on that. I'm happy waiting the 3 years because I can write that off on my taxes as an investment because it was basically a loss, right? You haven't turned a profit, right? So you write it off as either a business or company loss, right? Then in turn, you're now basically soliciting from so many people so much in terms of promises to make a great game that's going to sell this, that, and the other thing, right? And so basically they get that out there. And then the problem is that investors now start asking about like that extra kind of money, right? Like, hey, I'm going to give you this 10 million, give me 25%, what have you, but can we make even more money if we do this thing with loot boxes? Because I see loot boxes just making mad cash for all these different game companies, and I want to be a part of that. So it's like this trade-off, right? This balance that has to be struck between, investing, being able to get the capital that you need to make the games that you want to make, but also being able to get that investor confidence, because you're not going to be able to like crowdfund $100 million. That'd be impressive if you could. I'd actually like to see that one day. So you have to turn to people who can actually afford that, and you have to give them guarantees. And in turn, you're doing a trade-off, right? You're doing a trade-off to the people who are giving you this investment money to make the game. Then the gamers become the payers because they need to figure out how they can get you to buy the game early, how they can get you to sign on to loot boxes or other types of money-making mechanics. So they seem like, well, maybe what we can do is we can offer, Jim here. Jim, Jim. So the demographics we have on Jim is because we have all this, data about Jim. Jim plays all these other games. We can see that. He's got a subscription to WoW. He's got like a subscription to Final Fantasy. He's bought some microtransactions in Overwatch, and we can see that. So Jim is actually someone who has some money to burn on this game. So what can we do to get Jim to pay more for our game? Well, we can offer him the base game, but then we're going to put certain really cool things behind, like, loot boxes. And the loot boxes are going to be predicated on RNG. So it's, there's no guarantee that you're going to get the item that you want. So then in turn, we're going to get Jim to spend more money because he's going to want that item, right? We kind of figure this is the guy who's going to do that. So we're going to market it that way, right? And then we're going to get a bunch of these gems, right? Or we're going to get a few of them we call like whales, right? We're basically just going to be like, I'm going to drop like $1,000 right now in loot boxes. No joke. Let's do it right now, right? And those are the guys that they love, because that's an extra $1,000 that they wouldn't have had in terms of an income stream through the standard method, right? Today's like games that aren't online services or aren't like evolving basically are one and done, right? You buy the game, that's it, right? So basically you might buy a DLC, and then maybe like $20. So when you think about it, right? You think about the actual proposition of being able to make more money, and you start to figure out, how do I make even more money, right? And that becomes the issue. And so I think it's both, because the players demand these types of games. The companies have to be ambitious in order to court like the gamers who will become payers. So they have to make just as ambitious games. But they don't have the finances or the capital to do it. Oh, yeah. I mean, see, that's the thing. Is like the reason why people are doing that is because they see, it's like, what's the old saying? Pet shop boys don't know too many tricks. Yeah, that's exactly the case here. They look at it and it's like, well, hey, this has worked for Blizzard. We can do the exact same thing. Hey, this has worked for Ubisoft. We can do the exact same thing. And they start to replicate it because they go, this has a proven track record of actually working. And in turn, oh my god, we have 2 healers and this dude died. Oh my god. Where's our way out? Whispering Dawn. What she casts? Gradually restores HP over now. Okay. So that's the problem, is that like, there's a bunch of development houses out there, right? Everybody's looking for that money because, you have costs, right? But the problem is that what they have this fiduciary responsibility that shareholder investment is protected 100%, and that comes at the cost of gamers, employees, everything, right? Because the problem becomes is that vicious cycle of if you actually put out a product that you don't get a return on, right? Then you have to actually convince people that they need to that like maybe that was a bad investment, one-time deal, you're good for it. So you need to have some type of history of like, success, right? So they need us as much as they need their investors. But the thing is that they will, at the expense of their own staff, at the expense of their own health, will actually do whatever it's going to take to actually, protect that investment. So they look for additional avenues of income, right? And that would definitely be with the loot boxes, which is why people are not a fan of it, but companies are, because that's extra income. That's a way to make additional money above and beyond. And depending upon what you owe in terms of your investments back, that can actually be straight cash in hand for the company, which then in turn drives up their stock price because they can show that they're more flush with cash than they owe in debts, right? So that gives Wall Street confidence in the company's ability to be profitable, which in turn drives up the investments by ordinary people and other institutions who buy the stock of the company, which drives that up, right? Which then makes them appear to have market capital, right, at a certain valuation, right? Which then basically puts them in a spot of being a dominant participant or player in that space, right? So it's just a cycle that's basically predicated on greed, not actually making good games. You think that the problem is you need to remove the need for the greed, but the problem is when you're a public company, you really can't, because you have to show, right? Because Wall Street expects that you basically are making a profit, right? And that your investors, your stock purchasers, your stockholders are getting a return on their investment. Because nobody wants to buy stock in a company that's losing money, right? Do you? Would you? No. And so so just on a more like larger scale, right? Investors don't want to lose money, but it comes at the expense of, other things. So it's just a vicious cycle that doesn't really bode well for both sides of the equation. Yeah, I know exactly, right, with the WoW stuff. So it's a bad place right now for the industry to be in. Gamers have that, have that position of like, purity in like games, right? Like game development, social morals of like the game publisher, developer, that they want to believe that the games are being made because people like the games. The games are being made first and foremost on business decisions. I mean, that's why Anthem came out the way that it did, right? I mean, we've all read and listened to the stories about why Anthem is the way that it is and the lack of leadership that it had. But at the same time, they had to deliver a product because of the investments. They had to get something out the door. And they have to show that they can basically deliver because, it's the company's credibility, not to the gamer, right? They figure we will basically be like the rest of America, right? We'll forget about egregious acts that a company commits as long as they produce good games in some manner, right? Because you know how it is, right? Everybody's dumping on Anthem right now. But if Anthem really buckles down and does their homework and produces a game that people want, all the people who hated on the game will probably come back and give it another shot and be like, it's actually a lot more fun than it was, and might stick around and might actually contribute some money in some other manners of like a loot box or something else. But that's the thing, is that like they know that we're fickle, right? We're ebbs and flows, right? We can one day say, oh my God, we hate this company, and all they have to do is find the one thing that makes us happy with them, and then we forget that we hated them. So they know to weather the storm. That's all it is, basically, just weathering the storm. how well can you weather the storm to get to your next safe spot becomes basically the industry's method of engagement now. It's like, we know we're going to put it out. It's going to be a lot of people who hate on it, whatever. We'll get through it. They'll forget about it. We'll just give them another game. We'll give them some incentive. We'll give them some free DLC or something. They'll come back. Don't worry. And sure enough, we do. We do. That's the issue. That's why, our 15 seconds of fame, that's basically our attention span, is about 15 seconds. Very rarely, there are some people who will hold on to a grudge and who will not go back to that company, but that's not the majority of people. And that's basically what they bank on, is that you will come back. Right? They know you're going to come back. Statistically, you're going to come back. There's just no other way around it. You're coming back. Because where else are you going to go? If everybody's equally as crap, then hey, this is good. We're all in the same boat. But see, that's the thing, is that so in order for the game industry to get better, it definitely needs to I don't know. I think being public and being driven by the business decisions ultimately impacts the experience and the players. Right? You see even why. So people are so annoyed at the RNG or the time that it takes to actually, because that becomes that value proposition, right? It becomes, how valuable is your time, right? So when you look at a game, right, and you're like, all right, well, let's see here. The way in which the game dispenses money occurs at this pace. I can acquire this amount of funds in this amount of time, or I can go a different route and purchase gold, and that will cost me, say, $60. I'll get exactly what I want. Is my time more valuable than $60? For people who have the means to afford $60 and not have that hurt, their time is worth more than $60. Then you get into the ethical position of a gamer, right? Is that right? Is that cheating? Is that is that gaming the system? Is that not how gamers should play, right? So you get into those discussions, right? And companies we're going to crack down on that, yada 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 yada. And yeah, they do and they don't, right? Because the fact is that if you're a paid game WoW or Final Fantasy here, those people who are farming gold, right? They're actually paying for accounts. So in one way, you're making out on that transaction, right? Because those guys need to have accounts. So you're basically getting money from their subscriptions. So in one way, you are eating into some of that profit because they have to actually buy subscriptions, right? But it's not a lot, but it's something, right? So it'd be easy for them just to ban everybody, right? And then be really quick to do. But they don't, because they make money off of it. So they kind of say, oh, we'll look at it. We'll look at an isolated situation. We'll make sure you don't get caught or whatever. And then when they do catch you, they're like, well, we have to set an example because we know about it now. Now we have to punish this person. But if it happens in the shadows, they're fine with it because, they're just basically making money off of this as well. So that's the thing, right? So you get into that value proposition. Is my time more valuable than $60? Yeah, probably is. So I'll give you $60 because I don't want to have to wait 3 months to accumulate that on that pace to get to that level of currency if I can just give you $60 now and be done with it. So you spend the $60 and you have exactly what you want and you move on with your day, right? And now you're able to do what you want in the game and then you're on your way, right? And then the gold farmers make $60 and they in turn reinvest that back into their process, maybe by buying more accounts or what have you. And so it's just this cycle that feeds itself, right? So yeah, it's on one hand it's well, if we make the game free to play, we'll have a bunch of people in the game that will probably be very toxic. Yeah, that's true. And on the other hand, if it's paid, then at least people are going to be toxic. At least we're making money off of that toxicity. It is a neat way to try to kill it off, but at the same time, it's one avenue that not everybody takes advantage of, and more people will still take advantage of the gold farmer stuff. Because if you think about it, the token that you can buy is $20, right? And that might turn into, say, like, depending upon the server economy, that might turn into like 100,000 gold, 150,000 gold, you know, what have you. So in one hand, you're paying more per month if you buy the token outright, because the game subscription costs you 14 if you do it monthly. Cheaper if you do it in larger blocks, right? Or you can buy the token for $20, which gives you the gold and gives you the time, but the $20 might not be equivalent to what a gold farmer is selling for $20 in terms of the gold for your server. So in essence, you could get more bang for your buck going the opposite direction and actually buying more gold from a gold farmer at $20 than what the $20 token is worth on your server in the auction house. So you could go either way in that equation, right? I think what needs to be done is not so much a fluctuation of what people are willing to pay on the server, but actually looking at what gold farmers are selling at $20 value and matching that, so that way it's a more of a win-win proposition for you as a consumer to actually say, well, if the gold farmer is going to give me $1 million gold for $20, or I'm going to get 120, 150,000, or 199 or $200,000 for this token for $20, I'm clearly losing in this proposition, right? I'm clearly losing in this because I'm missing out on $800,000 or 800,000 gold, right? And that's the difference between me buying like this really cool mount or me playing within the rules of the game, right? So there's these value economic propositions that creep up into people's decision making. Now, if Blizzard was smart, they would monitor those and say, okay, this token is now worth 800,000 gold. So if you buy it for $20, you can sell it for 800,000 gold. But then that would defeat the purpose of what they're trying to do, which is trying to give you the game sub for a relatively nominal gold amount in the game. So it's kind of like it's trade-offs there as well. Otherwise, you would think that the amount of people selling gold would be directly impacted. And I don't know if it is. I mean, I haven't really seen the numbers to say like, yeah, this actually is having a correlation of decrease in the amount of gold sellers in the game. I'm not sure what that correlation is like. I'm sure it stemmed some, right? I'm not sure if it's stemmed enough to say this is an effective approach. Now, the community obviously likes it because they can say, well, I can pay now for my WoW game time without actually spending real money because I have enough money accumulated in-game where each month I can basically just keep buying this token and I can set myself up for like a year, 2 years in tokens, and I never have to pay for a WoW subscription again. You know, good on those people. Fantastic. Not everybody's in that boat. So people have to potentially look at it a month-to-month proposition, or they have to say, well, my entire time for this month is focused on making gold because I got to pay for the sub somehow. So now you're basically back into the only thing I focus on in this game is basically making gold because I need to make at least this much to buy another token. Otherwise, I can't play the game. So now you get back into that. Is my time more valuable than $20? It's like, here we go again. Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting position that the games find themselves in, right? When I used to play these games way back before these things really took off, these were definitely, I think probably, well, hold on, let me back it up. I think when I used to play, these were like one and done games, right? You'd buy the game, it's a solo experience. You beat it, fantastic. Put it on the board, you did it, right? You beat King's Quest. You beat, whatever you're playing at the time. Leisure Suit Larry, why not, right? You beat it, right? Cool. There was no DLC, there was no expansion. They just made King's Quest 2 or Leisure Suit Larry 2, right? They just kind of roll with it, and that's how they made their money. It was not an expansion, it was not like an online service, it was not loot boxes, it was not a monthly subscription. It was, you buy the game for $40-$50, that's it, you got it, you're good to go, right? Then, obviously, that equation started to change. We're like, hey, we can actually make some money off of this. We don't have to follow this model of one and done. We can actually perpetuate the concept of the game by introducing subscription-based. And like any other type of subscription service, at the time, what would be equivalent to a subscription-based concept of the time? Oh, here you go. Columbia House, right? Columbia House. You could buy CDs every month for a certain amount, and they would give you a certain amount of credit or whatever, and you'd get these CDs each month, and that'd be a subscription. So every month you'd stick around and you'd get CDs or tapes or what have you, and then you'd have your pick of them, and you'd be able to say, okay, give me these 5 because that's what my subscription allows for, right? So they moved to a subscription model because they're like, hey, this is kind of successful in other areas. Why don't we do the same thing with games? And then it kind of morphed into what it is today. Console gaming back in the day and PC gaming were pretty much on the same level in that they're basically one and done games, right? You buy like Mario Brothers for Nintendo. Well, whatever was on that cartridge is all that you could play. That was it. There's no expansion. There's no downloadable content. There's none of that stuff, right? You put the cartridge in, you play the game, you beat it, you take it out, you say, I'm done, I beat this game. You give it to a friend, you sell it back, you just put it in your collection and move on, right? So console gaming was really pure, right, from that perspective. PC gaming obviously allowed for more branching out to connected services. But console gaming for the longest time was without, like, expandability of games, right? So it really kind of held that part of the deal up. It was interesting to kind of see, like, the progress of the two. But where we're at today is, we're in a position where everything is an online service, because that's how they can make more money, right? That's like Destiny 2 saying, hey, look, you have the base game, fantastic. We're putting out an expansion now. We're putting out different versions of that expansion. So you can get the base expansion, which will give you this. You get the season pass, which will give you all these other features that you don't have if you just buy the regular expansion. You're like, what? Exactly, right, with AOL, right? So back in the day, there was like AOL, there was Prodigy, Apple had their own, there was CompuServe. There were so many online services that you could, get connected to, but you only could do what that service actually had in terms of, applications or interactions for you as a customer, right? So it's definitely interesting to kind of see this stuff like evolve, but the problem is that, like, it really has become more about the business than it has really about the games. And that shift has basically been because of the amount of money that it takes to build these things and the amount of profit that they're looking to get from these games. And being able to give back to the investors that type of profit or that type of return. Because if they don't, then they'll lack investor confidence. They won't be able to get the capital that they need. So they may have to turn to like crowdfunding, but then the game becomes, you can make an ambitious game, right? It might not be what the AAA can do in terms of game development, servers, staff, artists, etc., because their budgets are way bigger and they can employ more people. But you still can do it. So it's just like the compromises. So that's always been the problem, is that, like, the investments that people in the public company ultimately end up costing something. And we do see that happening in costing, like, the gaming experience and how we're payers now, not players. It's how do we make more money out of our customer base than how do we make our customer base more engaged and loyal, right? We're more loyal to our investors than we are to our customers, because our investors allow us to do these things that our customers don't. And ultimately, we want to have more customers, so we need more money, we need more capital. Yeah, I think that would be interesting to see that. Like, they say, like, the market will correct itself. I don't know. When the market is, like I said, in order for it to correct itself, you need to have rational actors operating. And I see this more as like a cartel right now than I see it as rational actors, right? They all follow the same and similar mechanics, right? There's not a disrupting force out there that says, we're not taking investor money. we're going to raise this money through, or we're doing investor money one time and that's it. I mean, look at Epic, right? Look at the Epic Game Store. Look at all those developers who are signing on to Epic because, you know, they feel like they'll have a better split financially than they will on Steam. But you see all the problems that store has actually caused Epic, right? And how all these exclusives, right, where Epic is paying the developer money, right? Yeah, I know it's gonna be interesting to see what happens because sustainability, I think, is a big question mark, right? That there is going to be, I mean, what you need is an actor who can basically create games. So you need a few things, right? You need an actor, you need a game that's really going to be compelling for people to buy. You need a development house who's equally as compelling from a moral and perspective, right? They treat their staff with respect. They don't work them to death. They don't make people work like 80-hour weeks to get the game out. They are transparent, and they actually listen to their customers, right? That's usually what people like to invest in, is those disruptors, right? That's usually where they see like big investments come from. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I think there's some baggage with them as well. But yeah, the guys who, you know, CD Projekt Red, yeah, they do things well, but they too themselves also suffered from working their employees, you know, beyond like a safe level. In all honesty, I think that, you know, video game developers, video game staff that works in video games should unionize. I think that will go a long way in setting the boundaries for what is acceptable and is not acceptable in the execution of their services. I mean, if you think about it, right, you know, this is what's so funny, right? Companies hate unions because it changes the power dynamic, right? It's no longer they can hold your job over your head and get you to perform, right? They can't say, well, if you don't do this, Jim, we're just going to fire you. And then you have no recourse because it's at-will employment, right? In a union, it's much different, and it changes the power dynamic, which companies don't like to give up the power on, right? But you think about it this way, right? Companies hate unions, so they create all this type of documentation and literature about how bad unions are, right? But then when you look at like unions in general, you see that the NFL, Major League Baseball, all the professional sporting teams have union representation, right? And they make significantly more money than anybody who would be looking to start a union for like a development job would ever be able to make. And they have union representation. NFL Players Association, Major League Baseball Player Association, those are all unions. Those are all unions protecting their people. Yeah, this is why it's so funny when you hear about like union busting and how people are like against unions, and it makes me shake my head and just ask them, do you understand what a union would actually bring to you as a worker in terms of your own health and your own ability to ensure your economic future? By having this at-will employment, they can literally fire you for wearing a red tie on a blue tie day. And they would be right to do it. And you think like, okay, so if I look at like the NFL players, and they have a union, and they make significantly way more money than we do, why the hell would they need a union? They're easily well set off after like the first year in their contract. What the hell would they have to worry about a union for? But they have them, and and I think that would go a long way in helping. See, I think the problem is too is that like the way in which the companies treat their employees, and this whole this worker fiasco, right, that we've been learning about, where they're just basically working them to death. I think that's the sad part, is that bad products come from people who are basically like working under these types of conditions, where they're like threatened that like if they don't put in these types of hours, so they officially can never ask you to do that many hours, it's expected that you do those hours, that the work product that you get is not exactly the most creative or best that it can be because of the duress that you're putting these people under. Because literally, I mean, in their eyes, in management's eyes, you can easily be replaced. And that's, you know, becomes very much concerning for people who work in this spaces because, you know, the way in which video game development works is if you're a developer on a title and you ship that title, you pretty much can expect to be fired or let go because, you know, your part is done, right? It's done. They got another team. They'll do the maintenance of it. And we got another team working on this. Like, it's not seen the same way as in most other industries. So you really like, you know, putting some serious pressure on these people. And they seriously, you know, aren't really able to be creative like they should be. So yeah, I think that they should have the ability to unionize because I think that would help in setting expectations and setting, you know, realistic expectations of work. And it would go a long way in improving creativity and productivity. But, you know, can't have unions, you know. They're bad for business. Oh, right, they're bad for your bottom line because you actually have to, right, respect your staff and you have to pay them fairly and you have to make sure that you're not overworking them and that there's all this types of other constraints that come to you as a business. Oh, I get it. That's why you guys don't like it. I hear you. And the sad part is, too, is that, like, workers will actually buy into that. Which is incredible marketing game where you think about it, you have something that's very beneficial for you, but it's construed in such a way that it's seen as detrimental to you. Like, hey, your guys' marketing game is strong. I'll tell you what. You can convince like an Alaskan that like a thermal jacket is very bad for them, that it goes against the principles of being like a tough person, and let them freeze out there because you've successfully told them that this is very bad for them, and they believe you. That's the issue. Is that like education, smarter people need to be more aware of their options and more aware of of what is allowed and isn't allowed. The problem is that Riot had his own issue with they had their own staff basically protesting them from the perspective of their work ethic. This is the problem, right? It's not just one company. It's not like EA, right? It's almost a strong majority of companies treating their staff this way. And it shows in the products that they're producing, right? And that's why Anthem was such a mess, right? They were pretty much told, you have to ship this game by this date. So they're under tremendous pressure to get something that would work out the door. Of course, consumer-wise, we're not up to speed on those conversations or what's actually happening in that space. We're just we're operating from the perspective that this is going to be a fantastic game. Look at all the marketing, all the hype around it. Look at all the gameplay footage. This is going to be a really great game. I can't wait to get into it. And then, you get into it and you're like, this is a horrible game. This is horrible. Look at all these things that are wrong with it. Then you realize that the way the conversation went, right? Was that you basically they had to get something out? No, keep going. You'll find him. There's only one more. Go get him. Yeah, I see. I think people get into those fields is because it's their passion. They like games, but the problem is the way in which the industry is that it kills that passion because it makes it more of a business than it does a passion. The reason why gaming companies in the past resonated so well with the consumer was because they operated from a position of passion. They made the games they wanted to play. And they hoped that you as a consumer would want to play their game because they poured their heart and soul into it because they had that passion. they had that drive to make this type of game, and they wanted to share it with you. And now it's about the business decision. It's not about that passion, about, hey, we want to make this really great game and we're willing to do the work it's going to take to get us there. It's about, look, we got deadlines, our investors are expecting return on their investment. We promised them we'd ship this game in 2019. I don't care, it just has to get out the door and we'll deal with it afterwards. And, and that's become, so when the equation has changed, when the conversation has changed from passion to just strictly money, it's always void of passion, and it shows, right? The products that are put out, the way in which the community receives them, the way in which we consume them. There's always those conversations. Well, the game was rushed. If it came out a year later, it would have been fantastic. Well, I mean, yeah, but the problem is that they owed some people some money, and they made some promises, right? So they had to. You see, that's the thing, is that so that's why gaming back in the day, right? Retrospectively, why gaming back in the day was, as I think as we all will agree, right, in this chat here, that there was more passion and there was more focus on making games that people wanted to play, right? And that drove those games, and that drove that interaction, and that drove that experience. Now you can just feel that this is not something that was made from love, but was born out of necessity to, produce, to deliver, to recuperate money. And that's when I think we talked about this before, right, Dave, about that Steve Jobs quote about how Xerox basically failed was because they let the business people make all the decisions about the products. But when it was the product people making the decisions and the product people developing, they were basically creating and producing these things because there was their passion to create these things. Then when business got in, they took a very hard look and just did it very much by the numbers, which kills all types of creativity and passion. And so they basically, lost out on that position. Hold on a second, I'm going to find that clip because I think it's really pertinent to what we're talking about here, because it really does kind of resonate with what actually was all about happening with companies today, right? Why companies fail. So here's what Steve said about why companies fail. I mean, just listen to the audio.
Very skillful. Yeah, but they did show us.
Yeah.
So. And it's good that they showed us, because the technology crashed and burned at Xerox. And they used to call what's that?
No, I was just...
Why?
Yeah, why?
Oh, very...
Why?
I actually
this is
thought
really
a lot
important.
About that. And,
here's the why. This is really
more
important.
About that with John Scully later on, and I think I understand it now pretty well. What happens is, like with John Scully, John came from PepsiCo, and they at most would change their product, once every 10 years. I mean, to them, a new product was like a new size bottle, right? So if you were a product person, you couldn't change the course of that company very much. So who influenced the success of PepsiCo? The sales and marketing people. Therefore, they were the ones that got promoted, and therefore they were the ones that ran the company. Well, for PepsiCo, that might have been okay, but it turns out the same thing can happen in technology companies that get monopolies, like, IBM and Xerox. If you were a product person at IBM or Xerox, so you make a better copy or a better computer. So what? When you have a monopoly market share, the company's not any more successful. So the people that can make the company more successful are sales and marketing people. And they end up running the companies. And the product people get driven out of the decision-making forums. And the companies forget what it means to make great products. Sort of the product sensibility the product genius that brought them to that monopolistic position gets rotted out by people running these companies who have no conception of a good product versus a bad product. They have no conception of the craftsmanship that's required to take a good idea and turn it into a good product. And they really have no feeling in their hearts, usually, about wanting to really help the customers. So that's what happened at Xerox. The people at Xerox PARC used to call the people that ran Xerox toner heads. And they just and these toner heads would come out to Xerox PARC and they just had no clue about what they were seeing.
And for our audience, toner is what?
Oh, toner. Toner is what you put into a copier. Yeah, the toner that you add to an industrial copier.
The black stuff.
The black stuff, yeah. So basically they were copier heads that just had no clue about a computer or what it could do. And so they just grabbed defeat from the greatest victory in the computer industry. Xerox could have owned the entire computer industry today. Could have been, a company 10 times its size. Could have been IBM. Could have been the IBM of the 90s. Could have been the Microsoft of the 90s. So, but anyway, that's all ancient history. It doesn't really matter anymore.
Sure.
So see, I think Steve summed it up perfectly well right there, right? The people without the passion and the understanding of what makes a good product are the people who are making the decisions to grow the company. And that is reflected in the products that we get to see, in the way in which they treat us, right? We're their payers. We're not their players, right? And that is becoming the problem that we find ourselves in. So when the people who were passionate about it were the ones making the decisions, you could see great games. You could experience games you wanted to play. Nowadays, you get these games and you're just wondering, what happened? Well, it's just pretty easy and clear as what's happened. Your experience, your game that you were looking forward to was traded out for money, right? Was traded out for, paying back investors. And eventually they'll get it, right? Eventually they get a game that you like, but it's not on the timetable that you were looking forward to, right? It's usually like a year after the release of the game where you're like, okay, now it feels like it should have felt 1 year earlier. Yeah, give me 1 second, I'll link it. Hold on. After this floor, I'll link it. But see, that's the thing, is that that from that interview from so many years ago rings so true today about what's happening in the game industry. The wrong people are the ones who are trying to grow and make those decisions, and the people who are passionate about these things are basically being left out of those conversations. And this is why, it's very hard. You ask the question, why do people go into game development? Well, because they're passionate about games. Just the businesses in the industry doesn't have the same passion that these people do. Now, if it did, they would be producing fantastic games that really, sure, it would never be without bugs and errors, but we would understand that it comes from a place of passion and that it comes from a place of wanting people to experience something that they feel so passionate about creating, that it becomes just something that you want to be a part of. But today, it just feels so much like it's a cash grab. It's how fast can we make $1, right? How fast can we get that money in our pockets and show it back to our investors? Look, we were able to return your investment. We made money. This is how many sales we got, and here's what we project for the. Just listen to just join any or listen to any public company's public call to their investors about the actual direction of the company. It's all about the live service. It's all about expanding that market share of the live service, about growing in that manner. And how to recuperate those losses that came from a bad launch. So yeah, that's why I said the wrong people are making the decisions that's ultimately hurting our enjoyment of this hobby, of this pastime, right? See, you would think, so in my mind, right, and you hear this from a lot of people, right? If you do what you're passionate about, money is secondary because it will come, right? And that's a leap of faith that, it's hard to take these days, right? Because, everything is pay to play these days, right? But, that's truly what basically, I mean, we can see Apple today as what it is, right, or where it's at, but that's really what kind of sustained Apple, was that they basically made things that they were passionate about. And yeah, it costs more money and a premium price tag, this and the other thing, but for the workmanship, for the craftsmanship, for the attention to detail, for the focus on experiences and things like that, it definitely served them well to be where they're at today, right? It used to be that they were like a fringe, like, you know, small company that you would root for. Like, they were the underdog. You'd like, oh my God, I hope these guys make it one day. You know, they got some market share, but, you know, they are really not like, you know, as dominant as Microsoft or IBM. And, you know, we're never going to see like a Mac in like, you know, business. You know, we'll see it in computer labs and schools and things like that. But you know, they really got, you know, as much as people will, you know, recount how horrible it was to work for Steve, if nothing else, the man was passionate about what he did. I mean, passionate to the nth degree. And boy, did he get others to be just as passionate, or find people just as passionate or he pushed them to be passionate about the products that they were making. And that showed, because, I mean, you look at it like their dominance today, right? A lot of devices, and you look at like, and you get like product releases, you're like, oh, what did Johnny Ive and his team produce? What vision did they have about like how to make the product better? You know, how cool is it going to be? Like, what's it going to be like? Like, you look forward to that, to see like what levels of creativity they're pushing themselves to in their products. And you hope the same thing for like these games, like what level of creativity, what level of, you know, improvement are we going to see with this release? And you're like, no, it was no better. It was actually worse. It's kind of a bucket of crap right now. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, see, that's the thing, is that like, you know, so comparing the games of our fathers versus the games of today, yeah, we can nostalgically look back and go, you know what? That was so much better, right? But at the same time, I'm sure during that same period, we were like, wow, games feel so like stagnant and we want better. You know, hindsight is always 20/20, and nostalgia is always nostalgic, you know, by default. But I mean, it's, you know, you don't know how good you have it until it's gone, right? And I think that's what people my age, people like in their 30s, are feeling about games. The kids who are growing up with it today, they have nothing to compare it to, right? They just listen to what, you know, others are saying and like, you know, kind of, but they really have no place of comparison, right? They didn't play like, you know, King's Quest, or they didn't play the games like on console, like the original Zelda, you know, at the time when that was like the only option, you know, from the console. Like, there wasn't hundreds of other options. Yeah, exactly. King's Quest, man. That's the thing, man. It's like, so like, you know, the people, I mean, I can say it because I grew up in the 80s and I had, you know, I had a computer. My first computer was actually a Commodore 64, believe it or not. And the games on there were cartridge based, so you would actually have an expansion slot on the back of the unit where you would plug in these cartridges. So you play like Dr. J versus Larry Bird, Pitfall, a few others. And you're like, this is the coolest thing ever, right? Playing these games on the computer, nice. You know, then they graduated from there, right? Like, you got into like, you know, doing some others, like the Commodore 128, and other computers came out. And then you eventually got into like the early like 386, like, you know, the Intel-based processors. You know, because you also had like RISC-based processors at the time that Apple was using, and you know, you had all these different types of hardware out there, but the games were really limited. So a lot of them were found on the consoles, right? A lot of them were found like a Nintendo console, Sega console, TurboGrafx 16. Anybody remembers TurboGrafx 16? Yeah, buddy. Bonk's Adventures? Oh, yeah. You know, those systems were the ones that were basically the driving to the consumer, the game experience. PC gaming was a luxury. Like, if you could afford a PC and you could afford the hardware that allowed you to play these games, man, you were in a good, sweet spot, man. That was like the life, man. You're like, holy crap. Like, yeah, look how awesome this is. Yes, Radio Shack, Radio Hack. I mean, Shack. Yeah, I remember Radio Shack. Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing, is like there was all these things where, you know, things weren't guaranteed to work. Like you got a floppy disk. Like you're installing like a game. I remember waiting in line for World of Warcraft, right? And it was on freaking discs, yeah, floppy disks. And you weren't always guaranteed that the floppy disk was going to work. Then CDs became the distribution method, you know. Then online became that distribution method, you know. Much like CDs, like VHS gave way to like, you know, DVDs, or actually they gave way to VHS, so Betamax and VHS, and VHS won that fight, right? Even though Betamax actually technically had better color reproduction in its color space and on the systems, still VHS won because of the cost of the units were different, right? Then you had Laserdisc that came up after that, right? Which was like the first like foray into like the disc market, right? Of being able to watch something on disc was Laserdisc. Laserdisc, man, I remember that crap. Holy crap, those discs were huge too. No joke, they were literally bigger than like a vinyl. They were literally bigger than a vinyl LP. They were huge. Yeah, exactly, because it took that long to make the goddamn copies. And the only like method you could get it sooner would be like Blockbuster and then Hollywood Video at the time. Yeah, right. Remember, people used to do that. They used to have like arts, like presentations made out of like those AOL discs. Like people would like line their pool with it. Like they would line like coasters. They would make artwork out of it. Like, yeah, they would send so many of those things in the mail. I mean, every week you're getting like an AOL disc in the mail. Or if you bought a magazine, it'd be stuffed inside the magazine. As like, hey, this is AOL. Come give it a shot. So funny. But I mean, see, that's the thing, is that like, you know, they've traded out the passion for the business, right? For the sales and marketing sides, because they want to see. Because remember, in today's economy, today's world, the bigger the company are, the better, right? Because you have a lot more control, a lot more power, a lot more, you know, things that your other competitors don't have. So I mean, you know, it's an interesting place where the industry finds itself today. You know, can it recover? Yes, it can. It's just going to require commitment and leadership to making good games again, and not trying to worry about making all the money in the world. But you know, we want to make all the money in the world because we're not just satisfied with, you know, enough money. We want all the money, and we want you to pay. Wow, that's in caps. Wow, I can't do that. And that's a tough spot, right? So we're definitely feeling it. Mobile is just way too lucrative for people not to, like, you know, invest in. And of course, that, you know, that's like a personal shot to gamers, right? Like, oh my god, I can't believe you're investing in mobile. Are you kidding me? Okay, like Blizzard, D3, like wrong time to bring that up. People are a little touchy about that. Don't you guys have phones? Like, I think that's going to go down as the quote of the year in 2018. Poor dude. Yeah, exactly. Don't you have mobile phones? No. We just like to pay, you know, like $300 a ticket to come here, and we don't have mobile phones. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is that, like, the reason why these companies are moving into mobile and why they're putting more resources behind it is because that's where they can make money. And as a business, that's your primary goal, is to make money, right? So, you know, that balance between making money, caring for your customers, and producing great products is a very fine balance. And at any point, any movement can throw that out of whack. and that becomes the detriment to the company. But that's the thing, is that like if you want change from these companies in a self-defeating way, you have to become a shareholder, like a big shareholder in the company, like one who can actually influence change. You know, us crying about this, that, and the other thing, you know, if there's only a few of us, they don't really care, you know. But it's important to us, right? That's the thing. It's important to us, but it's not important to them until it becomes too many to actually care for. Then it becomes an issue, right? So gamers should also unite, and gamers should also, in a roundabout way, unionize and become like one voice, or a very large voice. Right now, we're like, you know, it's all over the place, right? You love it. He hates it. He's in the middle. This guy doesn't know what to think because he has no idea what he's doing. You know, it's all over the place. And so they market it in the way that actually exploits those, you know, difference of opinions. Let's see, you think we get something to 80? I don't know. Let's see. Hard to say. And now we'll definitely be 56 after this. Oh wow, it's 11. Oh wow, it's already 11:30. Jesus Christ, how long have I been running my mouth for? Oh no, the game's not going to show up. That's not good. Yeah, I mean that's just the thing too, and that's what's hard too, right? Is finding that balance between passion. Because I say, if you have a job that you're passionate about, is it really a job? It's not, because you're passionate about it. The problem is, I think they've killed the passion from the very people that they need in order to produce great games. The problem is that they see them as a commodity rather than as humans, right? Well, if Dave can't do it, forget Dave, just fire Dave, find somebody else, right? And that's the problem when it gets to that state where you're just a commodity that it's so dumbed down that it's not even, worth it for them to, care about you and just replace you as quickly as the thought. That's a tough spot, because obviously there's a disconnect there. You understand yourself to be a lot more important than they understand you to be, and they don't care, and they will basically replace you. And that's where the union will definitely come in to help, because they'll make them think twice and require certain procedures to be followed in order to let go of a person. But, and if at the end of the day, if it costs me more money, if it's passed off to me, it makes my game cost $10 more. But I know the people that are making the game are passionate and are protected and aren't slaving away, and not hurting themselves health-wise, then yeah, fine. I'll pay the extra, because I would much rather have that than what I have today. But so what's the old saying? If the game doesn't cost you any money, you are the product, not the game. I know, it's pretty sad, actually. So just like like Facebook and all these other things that are like free, like you are actually the product, not the product you're using. Yeah, you're the product. Yeah, no, you're right. You can. This is why they need like a shakeup. Like you need one large studio to actually implement improvements across the board. But again, that's the problem, is that like the people who make the games and the people who are running the companies, they're operating on two different levels, right? One knows exactly what it takes to make a good game, and one only knows how to actually do the business end of the equation, right? How to get investors, how to market the company, how to drive sales, how to actually drive up the share price, right? Those are the guys that have no idea how to make a good game, what time it takes, what programming is, what challenges are in programming, what limitations we can see, from certain game engines over other game engines. So like EA saying like everybody has to use the Frostbite engine as a development platform, what that means for certain games that and what that means technically to overcome those limitations of the Frostbite engine to make their game work, right? Like that's the issue we had with like Mass Effect, right? 3 was that Andromeda was that it had to use the Frostbite engine. And the Frostbite engine is built for primarily one thing, which is pretty much like first-person shooters. Mass Effect 3 was definitely not a first-person shooter by any stretch of the imagination. But it turned into then you have to figure out how to shoehorn and compensate and build things to shore up the engine when there's, deficiencies in the engine. And so, that just comes from a business decision, because then you're like, I can just standardize across the board one game environment and everybody will build off of. Like what? So from a business, again, this is the taking from the business side of the equation, right? Not from the game side of the equation. So when those decisions are made, right, and the people who are the game coders, the game developers, aren't in those conversations, and they're told they have to make it work, yeah, they spend more time making things work than actually producing and being able to drive forward the product or the thing or the game that they're developing. They're spending more time trying to think about workarounds that might be the limitation of the game engine. So it's just in a bad spot for a lot of these AAA publishers. It's just a tough spot. Yeah, so like I said, if you've never let's see here. So here,
All we had to do was follow
Basic ethical conduct.
So here, this listen to Jim Sterling for a minute. He's talking about Rockstar Games, Fear and Fury. How the Rockstar sausage is made is basically the title. This is a very dramatic opening.
Hi. Today's episode of the Jimquisition has us putting on our serious faces. That's my serious face, because we're talking about serious business. The information in today's video has been provided anonymously, but the identities of those who provided the information has been verified personally by myself, and all of it paints a grim picture, not just of the company in question, but of the game industry itself. An industry ruled, in my opinion, by fear. A fear so prominent it's soaked into the very ground of this industry, and it's earth that needs to be dug up and repaved, because this cannot continue. So here we go, serious faces on, no skits, no bits, no laughs, except for me playing with this giant shrimp. Oh, it's
not a shrimp.
Oh,
it's broken.
A culture of fear, an environment steeped in fury, a place where people watch what they say and worry for their careers, not just in the company, but in the industry overall. This is how Rockstar Games is described by former employees who have been spilling the beans under condition of anonymity. Understandable anonymity, because Rockstar Games, arguably the biggest game developer on Earth, is notoriously litigious, and those who dare to speak up are still heavily impacted by the terror instilled into them by a corporation more worried about looking like the good guy than actually being the good guy.
Who are you? I'm a good guy. I just come from the Good Guy Clubhouse. And I'll be
the Good Guy Clubhouse?
All we had to do was follow the damn...
For quite some time, I have been ruminating on conversations I've had with those who once worked under Dan and Sam Houser, Rockstar's sibling co-founders. The former employees I've spoken to share common threads: anger at the way they and their colleagues were treated, frustration with the company's infantile, volatile atmosphere, and a remarkable level of disgust reserved for one particular Rockstar executive, Geronimo Barrera. Barrera was Rockstar's vice president of product development, and according to sources, he was despised as much as he was feared. He was the Darth Vader of Rockstar, I was told. If the Houses were the Emperor, Barrera was the guy they sent in to get shit done. There's that scene in Return of the Jedi where Vader comes to the new Death Star and says, "I'm here to kick ass and the Emperor is following." That's what those meetings were. He'd kick the crap out of the studio to keep them productive and say, by the way, the Houses are coming in a month, this needs to work. This is, I'm advised, how Rockstar got its critically acclaimed games made. Development on Max Payne 3 was said to be excruciating and oppressive, though for at least one worker it was less about how many hours they were expected to work, and more about the fact they worked under a brutal boot heel, made to feel small and powerless while executives shouted and screamed. Rockstar made games by, and I quote, beating developers into submission. Geronimo Barrera especially came from the yelling school of employee management. The dude was petty and had personal vendettas against people all the time, made work super uncomfortable, I'm told. He had anger issues, yelling, throwing things. Say or do one wrong thing in front of him and you could get fired on the spot. Laugh with him about something, you might get yelled at because he meant to be serious. As Hand of the Fraternal Kings, Barrera was seen as the worst, but it was not just him. Working under Rockstar management is suggested to be a frightening game of walking on eggshells. The executives over there are allegedly far from keen to take criticism or have any employee do much more than agree with everything they say. I'm told one developer was fired for taking the initiative and attempting to improve Rockstar's famously archaic combat gameplay. Because the Houses were more interested in making interactive movies, cinematic experiences, rather than video games, they became offended at a developer trying to fix mechanics. They fired him for it, said one developer. He was a good dev, an asset to the team. There's very much a corrupt culture there. They're firing people for trying to do their job. Taking initiative, trying to improve things, being aware of faults, these are things that shouldn't get you fired, but he didn't drink the Kool-Aid. To him, Rockstar wasn't the most amazing company that can do no wrong. I've been informed this is part of the reason why games like Red Dead Redemption 2, while critically acclaimed and for many good reasons, have a lot of needlessly fiddly controls and detail. It's why Rockstar's combat doesn't seem to have evolved over, well, more than 10 years. The Jimquisition did reach out to Rockstar Games for an official comment. They did tell me that they were going to produce an official statement, but they did know when this video was going up, and as of right now, no statement has materialized. If that changes, I will of course let you know, but right now, I do not have an official comment from the company, though I did try. I did due diligence. What can you do? Former GTA producer Leslie Benzies attempted to sue Rockstar for unfair dismissal in 2016. The accusations laid out in the suit were an early glimpse at what others are now speaking out about. He claimed they fired his own son and threatened him with malicious allegations, which is apparently a common revenge tactic at Rockstar. Something they do to, in his words, concoct false grounds for termination. He claimed he was owed royalties exceeding $150 million, but that Sam Houser decided he'd been paid enough already. Soon after the money discussions, Benzies was swiftly offered a sabbatical by the company, which he attests was the preliminary stages of sacking him. The lawsuit itself was troubled, many of the complaints dismissed, and Rockstar would eventually state, "It is deeply disappointing and simply wrong for Leslie to attempt to take personal credit for what has always been the tremendous efforts of the entire Rockstar team, who remain hard at work delivering the most immersive and engaging entertainment experiences we can for our fans. We do not intend to comment further on this matter." Apparently there's a pretty good reason, and when I say a good reason, I mean a nefarious reason, for Rockstar to never want to comment on things like this. According to a source of mine, this was because the company didn't want all of its skeletons tumbling out of the closet in a courtroom. In particular, Rockstar didn't want people knowing about the parties, the casinos, the strip clubs, the fact that if anybody wanted to get ahead, in the company, they'd have to go to said parties and casinos and strip clubs with a group of infantile men who behaved more like frat boys than executives. If you weren't into their idea of a party, you wouldn't have a very good chance of making it in the studio. It was very much a case of buddies looking out for buddies and excluding those outside the cabal. Leslie was on the fucking money, stated a whistleblower. It was very clear if I was going to work my way into upper management, it would be about partying with the management. That is what Rockstar really wants to hide. They do not want to get this stuff exposed. Another source backs this claim up. It's a big thing at Rockstar to be invited out after work. It's how people get in with the bigwigs to make the salaries they want to make. Hieronymo and similar important people would set up these outings but keep the circle small. Hieronymo was a big perpetuator of this party culture. He had exclusive lists in his clique, and if anyone outside his chosen few ended up invited to these parties, he'd be furious. His group would make fun of and mock others within his little party circle, and one employee was told, "Don't ever confront him if you value your job and dignity." Rockstar expected any among their group with ambition to have the same predilection they did for the casinos and the strip clubs. As a result, men like Barrera were routinely unseemly in the workplace. One worker claimed he was super inappropriate around people in general, discussing and encouraging things like sex and drugs a lot. Stories have circulated that he would get violent at some of these parties, getting into brawls and committing physical assault. So it is unsurprising to me that prior to this video's publication, Kotaku published its own report accusing Hieronymo Barrera of sexual assault. According to my own sources, while they couldn't verify the particular story, it checks out. They're not surprised. Kotaku's Jason Schreier reported on allegations that a former Rockstar designer, Colin Bunchu, was groped by Hieronymo in 2014. According to the story, Colin was invited to sit on Hieronymo's knee, at which point the product management VP fondled his inner thigh. It's a creepy story and an alarming account of how a man with no sense of boundaries used his power and position to coerce those under his influence. Barrera has categorically denied all allegations of misconduct through his attorney Robert Tracy, but the stories surrounding this man are pervasive and consistent. Some of them are as petty as they are bizarre. Said one former worker, "A story that bugs me to this day is that he had an angry fit about a harmless motivational poster someone on my team had hanging because it discouraged weekend working. It was a monkey on some vines saying something like, 'Can't wait for the weekend.' He sent someone to demand it be taken down, and the most senior person on our team was so afraid he'd blacklist us that we had to make peace with him by going to dinner with the guy. At that dinner, he brought up a discussion about losing virginity and tried to get us to share like we were drunk college buddies. It was just flat out weird, and I felt like one of those sweating, nervous cartoon characters that want to run away. Maybe that gave him an impression of me that got me even more on his bad side." The quoted source on this incident claimed to have been on Barrera's shit list, disrespected and mocked by Barrera's personal faction on occasion, sometimes over offences as minuscule as enjoying different types of video games to the executive. And again, while Barrera is the Darth Vader, he was nonetheless working for the proverbial empire. Even Leslie Benzis, the guy who sued Rockstar and brought many allegations to light, is alleged to have perpetuated Rockstar's toxic culture of fear, while the houses are only concerned with public perception, not private misbehaviour within their company. A former dev alleges Barrera was only let go from Rockstar in 2018 because they were scared of the Me Too movement and wanted to get ahead of it. With more and more stories regarding inappropriate behaviour and sexual misconduct arising across a number of industries, it is said the houses booted the VP as a way to cover their own tracks. It was announced Hieronymo had quit Rockstar to explore more avenues, which is code for "he got shit-canned," I was told. The Me Too movement changed things. The houses were aware the culture had changed and their strip clubs and casinos were a bad look. Upper management would talk about the tits of female employees. These people are running the company. Jesus fucking Christ, I'm pissed off. Hieronymo was fired because Rockstar tried to course correct. This course correction was not about sincerely attempting to improve the company, however, but simply about hiding Rockstar's dirty laundry and keeping the company's reputation as clean as possible. As my previously quoted source put it, the Housers are more concerned with being seen as good people. They should care more about making a quality product. When leaks about crunch on Max Payne 3 came out, management was clearly upset and said, "It's like they see us as the bad guys." And I thought, maybe there's something to that? They don't want a clear chain of accountability. It's a complex chain of failure. All these anecdotes, all this discussion appears to be bringing to a head sordid stories that have slowly emanated from the secretive bowels of the famously press-shy Rockstar for years. In 2010, there was the famous Rockstar Spouses blog post exposing cruel and harsh working conditions at Rockstar San Diego, citing pressure, stress, and an overall degradation in the quality of life of employees as they struggled to meet imminent deadlines. Management were accused of dishonesty, promising a reprieve from the overbearing workloads while knowing full well there'd be another deadline the moment the current work was done. Claimed the blog, instead of valued employees, a sentiment grows that they have lost not only the sense of being valued, but turned into machines as they are slowly robbed of their humanity. Rockstar is responsible for the most profitable piece of entertainment media of all time in Grand Theft Auto 5. GTA Online, which apparently the Housers had little interest in, has raked in an inconceivable amount of money for Rockstar and its publisher Take-Two. Their games are critically acclaimed and beloved all around the world, but these games cost more than cash to make. They're built on the backs of employees who are now speaking out about having had to endure humiliation, cliquishness, cruelty and rage. And the worst part is, it's not just Rockstar. This is the real face of a large portion of the so-called AAA game industry. This is the human cost of making video games for callous corporations that care about perception more than behaviour, that care about hitting deadlines more than treating workers with dignity. This is corporate culture at its worst and, in far too many places, at its most normal. There are great people working at Rockstar and XDev considered, especially San Diego, and it's not fun for them to have the company dragged through the mud. But I really think with the way they treat people,
can we get in here and stay? Let's see.
And the overall precedents they set, that it should be public. People in game dev circles know some of the stuff I mentioned and more, but people on the outside don't, and I think that should change. Even I was warned before I started at Rockstar and thought, it can't be that bad. It nearly killed my passion for the industry. You don't have to be as gay as I am to celebrate Pride Month, and if you are in a celebratory mood, why not pop over to thegimporium.com, where you can get this lovely rainbowy shirt and this lovely rainbowy pog. All the money from these sales will go to the Trevor Project, because unlike corporations that pretend to celebrate LGBTQ rights, we're not just trying to make bank off the month. We're better than them. We're better. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go piss a gay rainbow and scream trans rights into the night sky.
About 3 years ago, I bought a rainbow tie to celebrate Pride Month on the Jimquisition, and every single year I forgot. Well, this year I remembered.
Nice to see it.
Couldn't find the tie.
Ah, damn it.
Fuck my gay life. The game industry is rotten to the core, as far as I'm concerned. So there's too much poison in there, and it needs to be drawn out like pus from a wound. And I hope that this disappointing industry, because that's the word for it, disappointing industry, sorts its shit out. And it is my hope that the more people who talk about this, who come forward to share information, the people who report on that information, all of us together can enact some sort of change, can push this industry into doing better because of all of the nastiness that gets brought to light. The kind of abuses and exploitation that goes on in the game industry can only happen in the dark. It can only happen while people are still scared to talk about it. So this week, I'm not going to thank God for me like I normally do. I'm going to thank God for those people who have found the courage, under anonymity or not, to speak up, to share their experiences. The people who have managed to brave and risk the blacklisting that could happen in this industry, in their careers, and actually dared to say something. Thank God for them. Thank God for anyone in games media, game journalists, live streamer, YouTuber, anyone who has contributed to getting the stories out there. Thank God for all of that. And
oh, hit.
That's it.
So that was just basically like one story, but like you see how bad it is. As I said, like the passion from these people is just killed, like taken away because of the way in which management operates. And that's very sad because we love these things. We love these products that they produce to an extent. I mean, yeah, there's probably some disappointment, you know, in resentment, but all in all, you know. But we have to remember how it's made and the price in which it's made under. And that's not, you know, and he's right. You know, it is the pus needs to be drawn up on this industry because it can't continue like this. It just can't. It really can't. Minecraft. Oh man, my cousin, my cousin would love that if I made a Minecraft server. That's all he plays. Yeah, I might actually, because he plays a lot of it. And that might be a good way to play with him because he lives in Florida and I'm up here, so that might be a good way to play with him. He clearly is not playing games like this. He's not old enough to play games like this. He's only like 7 or 8. But yeah, it might be something to look into. I mean, so if you guys are interested, you know, take a look at more of Jim Sterling's videos. They're really eye-opening. And I think there's a lot of insight that he provides in his discussions about these topics. The Rockstar one here was the first time I actually saw it, so I was actually wanting to listen to the whole thing, and it's pretty disgusting. I've heard some of the stuff about like Rockstar and like, you know, how they objectify women, even those that are in management, like you're saying, talking about their breasts and things like that. Like that's just uncalled for and not in. It's just sad. But you know, but we love their games, right? We like GTA, we like Red Dead Redemption 2. But you know, what do they cost the people to make these games? The developers. I mean, so the more we know, maybe the more we can help to change things. Yeah. Yeah, you remember when you had that video about that? It's funny and sad at the exact same time. It's funny because there's actually a situation where that actually. What's funny is that there's actually an environment where that can occur, and sad that there's actually an environment where that can occur. It operates on 2 levels there. So sad. Have you seen this one about whoa, that hurts, dude. Payers, not players, or companies turning players into payers? That's actually a good one too, and I'll link you here in a few minutes. That's actually really good. What? I got hit by that. All right. We'll get rid of that mysterious light, and we'll just finish it off. We're good to go. 59. Oh wow, floor 59. Wait, who are we fighting? Oh, you guys are fighting? Oh, Mimic. Oh, damn it! Don't. Okay, thank God you guys killed it. It was not in the mood to somebody carry a pox on them. Oh, we actually have pox removal, so fine. Somebody can get hit by a Mimic, no problems. That's so funny and sad at the exact same time. It's just. Well, hopefully things, you know, start to. Hopefully more things come to light so things can get better. Oh boy. Got a walker. Oh, he decided to turn around and go the other way. I'll take that. That's actually pretty good. Whoa, let's get back out here. Grab him, though. Let's grab him. Because he's going where we need to be. Which is down this avenue, because that's where our out is. Let's get this way. Here we go. Wow, look at where that trap is. That's diabolical. Literally right there and on the rock. Wow, you guys are horrible with that traps. Jesus. Paralysis. 10 seconds to wear off. No. Paralysis. Don't step on the trap, please. You're so very close to it. Don't do it. Down the middle? What do you think? You think? Oh, we almost had it. Nope. Okay, this is where we go. In we go. Oh, damn it. We were so close to sneaking out. Just missed it. Critical Calvert. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I like Jim. Jim has got a lot of good information. I will use one of these, thank you. Now we're going. Alright, hey, sword and board, going first. There you go, you get the aggro. I'll come in behind you. Yeah, do I need to do, which is this. Alright, he's got the slow on him. He's in the field taking damage. That's good. Now I need to get out of this field because this is doing damage to me. Ah, dang it, he moved out of there. Alright, Headless Horseman, where are you going? Who's getting it? The Bard? Oh, thank God you didn't get bumped into that freaking Let's do it again. And 3, and go. Yeah, keep him in there. There we go. Let's work it in here. This is good. This is good. This is good. All right, let's get into this. Let's do my... Let's actually do that. Let's actually do our mug. There we go. Alright, time to do limit break. Oh, God damn it. He's going to do me. Well, it was at least into the circles of death, so that was good. We at least avoided that little potential issue. Yeah, good job, team. Good job. Way to finish it. Way to finish it. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. 0 punctuation is his name. Okay. I need to look him up then. Alright, welcome to 56. Let me see if I find that video. Let's see here. I don't think everybody's seen it. What's this one?
It is time for an Activision special.
Ah, Beliar. Well, Beliar does pretty good too, actually. He's got some good stuff here and there. Alright, here we go.
Turning players into payers.
There you go.
I think some of you are going to like this episode. You might not like what it has to say, but this has been the product of a good few weeks of research, of back and forth, of investigation, and I think I've put together a very compelling video.
Turning players into payers.
Before we properly crack on, though, I want to preempt some of the arguments that I think are going to come. Mainly, yes, microtransactions, monetization, games as service are popular. They make a lot of money, basically. A ton of money. Inconceivable amounts of money. But it's important to remember that a lot of this money comes from a very small percentage of the audience. the so-called whales who spend massive amounts of money on in-game purchases. And that, to me, looks like game publishers are building entire empires on sand. It's not the most reliable, not the most stable business model, is it, to go all in on a handful of peeps? And when that bubble bursts, I feel like it's going to be very, very ugly. Speaking of very, very ugly,
recently Activision came under heavy fire after the discovery of a patent it filed pertaining to a method in which online matchmaking itself would be weaponized in order to try and force customers into spending extra money on additional content. At its most basic,
Oh yeah, listen to this, Dave.
such an idea takes a new player, works out the kind of stuff that player would like, then takes veteran players with said content, matches them up against the new players with the idea that the new players will get their asses kicked, think, oh, I'd do a lot better if I had the stuff that other player had, and then they'll want to buy additional stuff off
Me neither.
Activision
I'd be like, let's go, dude, let's go.
Competitive edge. It's as fucking insidious as it sounds, and do you know how fucking insidious it sounds? Really fucking insidious. That's how insidious it sounds. While Activision maintains it's never implemented such a scheme in its games, to date, it's still a grasping, pathetic idea from a grasping, pathetic industry that has grown more frantic than ever when it comes to scraping additional cash out of its audience's wallets. That said, a patent is just a patent and is not explicit proof
Randy
that
Pitchford?
something's actually happening in the industry. However, just because Activision's slimy little scam may be just written on paper, it doesn't mean that games aren't already using player data in a variety of sinister and worrying ways, so much so that entire businesses are being built purely off the back of such data use. I've been looking at a company after a disgusted anonymous developer contacted me about it, having just got done seeing companies gloating about how much extra money they could exploit from their customers using what I'm about to discuss. If you've never heard of it, allow me to introduce to you scientific revenue. Better yet, grab a large industrial-grade vomit bag and let Scientific Revenue introduce itself with this video package it proudly shares on its site.
Mobile games are a massive business, but competition is fierce, and the cost to acquire new players keeps going up. To have any chance of turning players into payers, game developers need to get their in-app purchases right. To boost revenue, you need deep insights into your players and the ability to customize prices for each. What if you could deliver the right price at the right time for the right buyer? We deliver dynamic pricing that increases conversion, reduces churn, and boosts the lifetime revenue of your app. Our plugin easily integrates into your game and common game development environments, where it captures hundreds of data points that inform purchase decisions. With predictive analytics and machine learning, our dynamic pricing engine analyzes pricing signals, segments players in real time, and automatically delivers targeted pricing. With better insights at your fingertips, you can keep improving engagement and retention. Now, nothing stands between you and monetization. Turning players into payers.
Mayhaps you were too busy cringing at the embarrassing faux-friendly corporatism to watch it, but that introductory video pretty much explains how you, the players, are being observed and studied by a piece of software, learning what it can about your income, when you play, how you play, where you play, even what type of phone you have, to better know how to hit you with in-app purchases. Essentially, Scientific Revenue is a stealth predator that mobile games have been integrating into their products, that it may hide in the bushes and wait to pounce when you're at your most susceptible. Scientific Revenue claims that with no effort on the part of the developers themselves, a game can increase its cash intake by 20 to 40% simply by knowing when to offer additional purchases and how much to charge
My little scooter.
players. The latter part is what Scientific Revenue proudly calls dynamic pricing, and it's not new. Scientific Revenue certainly isn't the only company doing it. Zynga, the closest thing mobile gaming has to Satan's foreskin, caused a minor uproar when it was caught offering the same content to different customers at different prices, experimenting with the dynamic purchase model. In any case, players of mobile games might not realize that so-called machine learning is watching everything they do, getting to know them, learning their resistances and weaknesses like they're bloody orcs in Shadow of Mordor. To me, the sheer existence of Scientific Revenue, which incidentally has former PlayStation honcho Jack Tratton on the team, yeah, that's where he ended up, puts paid to the claim that the game industry merely considers microtransactions as optional. Oh, microtransactions are just there as an option. It's all about player choice, player freedom. You know, the usual bullshit excuses corporate mouthpieces trot out when they defend their decision to shovel microtransactions into their games. The fact there's a market for predatory microtransactions, ones designed to seek you out even if you want to ignore them, says that no, game companies aren't interested in simply offering players choices. They want to get what they've always wanted. All of your money, as much as it could possibly carry. And another crucial impression I get from this is that, yeah, for a lot of people, they can ignore loot boxes, microtransactions, all that stuff. And the current glorified gambling craze sweeping across the industry is predominantly geared towards exploiting the more easily exploitable. But with this sort of stuff, they're coming for everybody. Winter is coming for you. And companies have freely demonstrated that they are nowhere near above increasingly desperate methods of beating you around the head until you surrender and hand over more money. In the same way Valve uses algorithms to sell you games based on your interests, games themselves seem interested in using algorithms to sell you more of, well, themselves based on everything they can find out about you. I reached out to Scientific Revenue personally to find out more, asking some pointed questions about the ethics, the implementation, and exploitative potential of its service. In a very interesting move, the company's response was to use Gama Sutra to publicly address and somewhat belittle my concerns before I ever had a chance to publish anything myself. CEO Bill Grosso lays out a picturesque description of dynamic pricing, comparing it to established instances of price flexibility, such as auctions, okay, airline prices, okay, and surge pricing, such as when Uber raises its fares during busy times, okay. None of the comparisons are particularly apt, since none of them so subtly manipulate their customers, but Bill goes to great lengths to defend his platform, as you might expect, even going so far as to claim that dynamic pricing is far less likely to harm the game industry than attitudes like mine, which he presents as, and I quote, deliberately rejecting best practices from other industries in the name of an illogical and inconsistent purity, and continuing to lose money on the vast majority of games that are created, regardless of quality. After publishing the preemptively argumentative article, Bill Grosso sent it to me and asked if I had any other questions. I did find his piece a little unsatisfactory, dodging the ethics issue with a dismissive everybody does it so it's okay rhetoric, and using extreme examples of predatory pricing, such as overcharging for medical supplies in order to make itself look better. And honey, if you need to compare yourself to the pharmaceutical industry to look good, I don't know what to tell you. In any case, you can read the article yourself at Gama Sutra, and I highly recommend reading the lengthy comment response below, which does a good job highlighting how Grosso, I'm not entirely sure, glosses over the concept of taking advantage of customers, as well as the inadequacy of his comparisons with other industries. Despite initially friendly correspondence with Bill, the CEO became increasingly derisive and snarky the more he seemed to learn about me. He made it clear he'd been looking me up, bringing up the fact I recently published a podcast entitled Fart Porn Specialist to make some sort of point, and rather flippantly blew me off when I asked for more details, despite him contacting me after a long period of silence to, you know, offer more details himself. After telling me that his Gama Sutra article answered everything adequately, I took it as the company's official response. Bill's write-up did address some of my queries, but I feel it ducked a number of them, including these questions that I had explicitly asked. With microtransactions already regularly emulating the psychological effects of gambling, what measures do you take to make sure Scientific Revenue is responsibly implemented, and what duty do you feel, if any, to the end users playing these games? Are users of said games ever put off when they learn they may be buying something their fellow players paid less for? Is there not a risk of saturating the market to the point of breaking, with games ramping up new and more complex ways of generating revenue and an overwhelming number of games offering minimal gameplay with large microtransactions? How much more can the industry take before it collapses? I also wanted to know if Scientific Revenue had moved beyond mobile games and was looking at, approached by, or even implemented in larger games for console and PC, but the increasingly cagey CEO seemed entirely uninterested in touching that one. According to Scientific Revenue's website though, it does at least work really well with Unity. Oh, it's a shame Digital Homicide never jumped on that when they had the chance. Oh well. While the Scientific Revenue boss claims that the death of the industry is far more likely to be the fault of people like me rather than organisations like his, I can personally say that I gave up on the mobile games market specifically because monetisation had gotten so overbearing, so oversaturated, so overly manipulative that I couldn't stand it anymore. I was a huge proponent of mobile gaming when it first rose to popularity, going so far as to defend it from quote-unquote hardcore gamers who continually called mobile games casual trash for trashy casuals. But you can only see so many pitifully cloying Clash of Clans rip-offs before you feel overwhelmed and underwhelmed at the same time. You can only play so many games that feature minimal or self-playing gameplay offset by constant harassment to spend more money before you close the App Store in fucking disgust. Cell phone gaming had a bright future once. A long time ago in the past. Mobile devs these days allegedly only care about the money to be made off the so-called whales and dolphins. You know, the big and mid-tier spenders.
Oh boy.
Hell, this show's own director does game design on the side, and he's told me about his first-hand experience with mobile studios and how they email him to only talk about the money they plan to make. No word of game design or anything, just the end result. A big, fat ka-ching. By the time I downloaded the Dynasty Warriors game, only to find out it played its fucking self and continually forced me into the marketplace with too many currencies to keep track of, I realised mobile gaming was boned for good. It's done. It'll keep making money off its whales and dolphins until the bubble eventually bursts. But hope ye who enter looking for quality, for the state of mobile gaming today is, in my professional opinion, fucking shit. Not that Cyrev, that's my call word for it, not that Cyrev would agree, of course. It's all just best practices, and any claim that games have been ruined by an oversaturation of in-app purchases is just apocalyptic rhetoric. Bill did a good job of painting me and those like me as overreacting doom singers. He's not the first person whose cage I've rattled to do it, and he sure as shit won't be the last, but I can only speak from experience. I, once an adamant defender of mobile games, no longer play them because they're shit. Except Steppy Pants. You're still cool, Steppy Pants. I mean, you don't use Scientific Revenue, do you, Steppy Pants? Don't break my heart. Don't break my heart. Unfortunately for Bill, who I'm sure is a nice enough bloke, everything Scientific Revenue says about itself makes my fucking skin crawl. The way it talks about players giving off pricing signals, the way it claims you can turn free users into paid ones, it drips with the kind of smarmy slime you can only find at a modern tech company.
Hey, have a good one, Rainbow. Thanks for stopping by.
Culture that describes humans as aquatic
I think this. How much is it going to cost me? 5,000. I'll take it.
Spending habits. The corporate culture that can't stop using the word audience retention because anything else might not sound creepy and robotic enough. The corporate culture that brought us King. You know, the Candy Crush people. That completely wretched arsehole of a business with a history spottier than Spotty from Super Ted. I know, go read
42.
the post. You might even find yourself agreeing with some of Scientific Revenue's arguments.
15. I'll take those.
Does it. Dynamic pricing is fine.
Dang, how does this look like?
Different prices for the same game content is fair because not everybody has the same income. Different pricing isn't wrong if people are paying
40?
for it. Whether you agree or not, though, what has become indisputable is that monetization is not optional. Industry thralls can yell it till they're blue in the face, but
how much of this is actually in my backs now?
It doesn't want to be optional. It never wanted to be optional. It doesn't want to be ignored, and it sure as shit doesn't want a single one of you to get away with not paying the piper, regardless
Let's see
of
what
whether
else.
or not you already paid an
Grab
entrance fee in the
that. Let's
first
grab the
friggin'
waist.
place. I couldn't find anywhere where scientific
Yeah.
revenue says what games it's affected
42.
or even how many, but it proudly states
We
that
got
games
that. What's about
using
that?
it have been downloaded over 100 million
140.
times.
What's this
That's
look
a lot
like?
of games collecting a lot of data to learn how better to make you pay. And the moment,
looks like a face card.
moment to this sort of shit definitively, provably makes
Yeah,
its
keep my
way to
headpiece.
so-called AAA games.
We got that
Any
one.
argument
That's
about
good.
so-called player choice and
We didn't get the
optional
hands. How much are the
time-saving
hands?
purchases
20? Alright,
goes
fine.
right out the fucking
Wait a minute.
window.
Well, do
Not
we
only
actually
that,
buy
but
these?
Can you just imagine EA, Activision, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers, and 2K getting in on this shit?
We did.
It's gonna be an all
You're gonna buy them twice.
buffet. The world of AAA games is.
All right. So when it comes to these, like these hands here, you know, in order for you to equip them, I mean, you can equip them, but to make it easier for yourself, you actually put them in the armory chest there, and that actually makes it easier to have them equipped. So there we go. So then you can go to your character window, pull up your thing, recommended gear. It'll look there, and automatically bring it over. See, now we're at 118 gear score. Let's see what else. So we got the hands. We should get the waist, right? The waist is going to be +9. What about, we got the legs, right? I think we did, right? Wait, did we get the legs already? No. Hold on, are the legs in my bag? Okay, they're not in the bag. Right now I'm seeing them in the bag. I'm going to look at the character. This. Legs are not there. Alright, so let's look at the legs. Wait, hold on. Let's look at the armory again real quick. Let's make sure we have room in the leg area. Go to my inventory. Find something that's low level that we're not using. 30 for what? Yeah, okay, it's fine. Bring it over here. Alright, now let's go here. Now let's go to legs. How much? 40. You guys are killing me here. 42. God dang. Alright, fine. These. Alright, let's do this. Let's equip this. 122. Let me see how this looks, actually. It doesn't look horrible. Alright, let's double check now and see about a weapon, right? So we're doing a rogue's weapon. No negative numbers here, so it basically means we've got the best weapon we can that's accessible to us based upon what's in the auction house right now. Waist, really +9. How much per +9? 42. Nah, it's too much. Legs we got. Did we get the feet? We got the feet apparently. Yeah, I guess we did. All right. There we go. So that means we pretty much got what we got for our guy. Okay. So what we're gonna do here, guys. I'm gonna head out here myself because I need to go get some lunch. Oh my God, it's like pouring outside right now. What is it doing out there? It's raining so hard right now. Oh my God. Well, I'm going to try to go get some lunch before I go get my massage, but we'll be back later today. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and I hope you have a good day for now, and hope to see you guys back a little bit later on. Oh my God, it's raining so hard out there right now. Like, literally, it's raining a lot. Wow. That's amazing. Haven't seen it rain this hard in a very long time. Huh. Oh well. Alright guys, I'm going to head out of here. I hope you guys have a good day. Hope to see you guys back later today. If I don't, have a great Saturday. And if I do, I'll catch you back later. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out. See you guys. Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. Should be hopefully good. We'll see. No happy endings. Thank you very much. I knew you were going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. I foresaw this. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Catch you guys later on today.